wait. There we go. There we go. We're good. We're good. All right. Let me see if I can pull up chat, actually. Let me set it to this. There you go. Oh, my nose is like... Okay, we're good. We're good. Let me put that over there. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, so today we're doing a video stream that I've been wanting to do for a while. And basically what this is instead of me making a tier list, chat is going to make a tier list. And I'm simply going to sit and watch as the chaos unfolds. So all of you are going to decide where these tanks go. There's going to be a 2-minute timer for each vehicle in tier 10, of course. So let me set it to tier 10. What are the testing tanks? Okay, so we're not going to do testing tanks. We're going to do... What's the difference between this? Huh? I don't know, but let's have it testing off. I think, yeah. Okay, so this is all tanks. This is testing off. This is testing only. So let's do testing off. We don't need the type 5 in this tier list. So we'll do testing off. All tier 10s, which we can see in front of us. And the categories we have are OP, super strong, good, workable, and bad. I thought that this was the best way to do the categories. So that's the rankings that we have. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, we might have to do 4. Problem is, you can only do 4 polls on YouTube. Okay, let's just get rid of the bad category, okay? The bad category doesn't exist. Can we get rid of this? I'm just gonna set this to, like, 0, okay? There. Alright, so we'll do OP, super strong, good, and workable. I don't really think there are any bad tanks in Blitz, so we'll just leave it at like this. Unless do you guys want like a bad instead of workable? But I can only do 4 options because it's not possible for YouTube polls to do 5. So we'll have to do 4. Alright, first tank is this. Put all the tanks in the Put all the OP tanks in the bad category. Bruh. I disagree with your previous tier list, to be honest. The T100 LT deserves the super OP category. It's not really a tank that I think anybody would consider super OP. It's a strong vehicle, but it's nothing ridiculous. Alright, we're going to leave workable the way it is. I think that's fine. So, those are our 4 categories. OP, super strong, good, and workable. Alright? So, we're going to start off with the Sheridan. And the options we have are... Let me write them down. OP, super strong. We have good and workable. Okay. And start poll. There you have it. So we're going to do 2 minutes for each poll. So actually, while this is going on, I will set up a live split. And I will have a timer in the top corner of the screen that we can use. I'm interested to see where people are going to rank things. I'm not going to look until 2 minutes are up. Actually, I probably will look. All right, let's see. Let me make this a little larger. There you go. Edit splits. Okay, good. It's all set up properly. All right, there's our timer. And boom. All right. So we got that going on. Sheridan is a sneaky bugger. So let's see. Right now, 41% of people are saying super strong. 46% of people are saying OP. And you know what? I might have to agree. So far, you guys are not just... Ooh, the number is bouncing all over the place. The 2% of people putting the Sheridan in workable, I might have to disagree with that one. I mean, to be fair, every tank is technically workable. But in general, I think I would say that the Sheridan is... Why aren't you sleeping at 6 a.m. for you? What do you mean it's 6 a.m. for me? It's 12 p.m. What are you talking about? All right. Well, I think it's been about... when we hit the minute mark for this one, I will end it. But it seems very clear to me that the Sheridan is obviously going to be making it into the OP to super strong category. OP has the most votes. It has 69 votes right now. 71. Oh, it's getting close. It's getting close. It's 44% to 39%. The Sheridan is a very, very good tank in the hands of decent people, but definitely not OP damage farmer, so you can't put it in OP. Well, I hate to break it to you, but it seems like the vast majority of people that have voted disagree with your take. You can't get mad at me. I'm not the one making these opinions. This is your opinions. This is your tier list. So no longer is the weight on me. All right. Well, we are at 2 minutes at this point because it says 2 minutes ago on the poll. So it seems like the Sheridan is going to be making it into the OP category. Obviously, as more people watch the stream, we're going to have more votes as it goes on. So obviously, make sure you stay for the whole stream, and we'll see exactly what goes on here. But yes, we're going to end the Sheridan poll. It's very clear to me that most people think it should be in either super strong or OP, with only 13% in the good category. So with that being said, our first poll is done. The Sheridan will be going into the OP category. And there you have it. All right. Next up, we have we're not going to do the Sheridan missile because that tank's a waste. We'll just leave the Sheridan missile there. Or I'll just put it here. There you go. Because obviously it's not a tank, really, that you can play. So next up, we have the M48 Patton. So here we go. M48 Patton. I'm just going to type in M48. All right, here we go again. OP. I'm just going to type in strong, add option, good, and then work. All right, here we go. Start poll. M48 Patton is live. If I see 60 TP, I'm going to scream. Well, the 60 TP is... Where is it? It's European. Oh, it's all the way down to the bottom. You're going to be waiting a while for the 60 TP. That's one of the last tanks on the list. Now, personally, I think that the M48 Patton is an OP vehicle. I think it's OP due to the abilities it has, but it seems like most people are putting it in the strong category. To be fair, I'm not going to disagree with most of the rankings unless I think they're absolutely terrible, right? Oh, I forgot to start the timer. All right. You can rush it easily, then it's done. You can rush what easily? The Patton, or are you talking about the Sheridan? You can't rush the Patton easily. It has super, or no, it has, what's the gear oil? That's what it is. I can reverse it 26, and it has reactive armor, a nearly impervious turret. It's close, to be fair. Right now, it's close. It's 38% to 40%. I mean, as I said, in my personal opinion, I'd be putting the Patton into the OP category. I do think it is a pretty OP vehicle. But it seems like it's going to be making it into the strong category. Oh, I don't know. It's 39% to 40% now. Ooh, it's pretty close. It's pretty close. As I said, once we hit 2 minutes on that timer, I'm ending it off. You forgot super strong? I definitely didn't. There's 4 lists here, bruh. Patton and E50M OP right now in my experience. I mean, that's what I would say. To be fair though, it's a pretty even amount of people that are putting the tank in the OP and strong category. It's back and forth. Like, this is neck and neck. It's 39% to 40%. Like, that's as close as you can possibly get for a opinion there. But it seems like we're about a minute and a half. It's so close. It's so close. Literally, if like 2 people vote for the OP category, it'll sway into the OP's favor. You got 20 seconds left. What is going to happen? All right. Don't mention your opinion. Sheep will not be honest. Have an opinion after it's decided. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Well, we're at 2 minutes, and I'm ending the poll. It is going into the super strong category. It was close. It was very close, but it will be making it into the super strong. All right. Next up, we have the M60. Let me reset that. Start poll. I don't love the M60 personally, but we'll see what happens here. All right, OP. Super. Because apparently people didn't realize, even though I only have 4 categories, I missed the super strong. Good. And work. Alright, here we go. M60, off it goes! Bro, Madness Steve, there's no way you're still talking about the MS1. Why are we talking about the E100? We're not even... The E100 is, like, all the way over here. Like, why are we talking... When it gets to the E100's turn, I guess we can talk about it. M60 is better than M48 because it has better mobility and armor, but worse turret. I don't see how the M60 has better armor anywhere than the M48 Patton, to be entirely honest. I think that's a blanket statement with very little proof. For me, the M60 is only good. Good average M60. I mean, to be fair, you know, people have to remember that, like, these 3 categories, any of them are not bad, right? Even being in the good category, it still means your tank is decent and workable. It's just, well, yeah, I mean, good is just like your tank can do well in a decent player's hands without putting too much effort out. Where, you know, anything above that is like, it's pretty easy. So driving an M48 Patton is pretty easy to do well in. Driving a Sheridan, pretty easy to do well in. Now, this one is very clear. It is very clear that I think this specific vote is going to be heading towards the good category. It is over 50% of people are putting the M60 in good. And honestly, I think I have to agree with that. This is not a vehicle that I would say is that impressive. It's not a bad tank. It's not a bad tank, but it's not on the level, it's not on the same level as the M48 Patton. The level of turret armor, the level of everything the M48 Patton has. I mean, the M48 has gear oil, it has reactive armor, it has better turret armor, and it's basically the same DPM. Like, if the M60, it's a lot faster than the M48, that's just not true. Like, I don't know where people come up with these ideas, but they're wrong. The nice thing about doing a live stream is I can, like, practically prove you're wrong, though. Okay, so let me end the poll. Very clearly, the M60 is making its way into the good category, right? So you're saying that the M60 is faster than the M48 Patton. Well, sure, if you have, like, one working brain cell, the M48 Patton goes 48 kilometers per hour, and the M60 goes, what, 52? But watch this. I know, it's crazy, but believe it or not, this vehicle has something called gear oil. So if I take off a small bottle of cola, whoa, look at that, I go 52. If I took off the fuel, whoa, I can go 54, and I can reverse it 26. Listen, guys, it's not hard to use some common sense here. 52 is not faster than 54. And I should also mention that this vehicle, while it does get super speed boost, it only increases it by 4 kilometers per hour. And not to mention, it only lasts for 15 seconds, where this is a permanent buff. So, yes, the M60 is fast, but it is not faster than the M48 Patton. If you actually know how to properly equip your tank, just like mine, you will be running gear oil on it, and you will go the same speed as the M60. This is why I do like doing live streams, though, because when people make hot takes, I can be like, no, that ain't right. Alright, well, M60 in the good category. Not very surprising, to be fair. Up next, we have the M6Yo. If this tank doesn't make it into the OP category, I'm going to be very disappointed with you guys. Alright, here we go. Boom, boom. Add option, good, and work. Alright, here we go, here we go. Timer has been started, here it goes. You're doing this inexpensive food, M60 already has more DPM. Yeah, well, you tried saying that the M60 was slower. And by the way, really, it doesn't matter, because these aren't my opinions. These are your opinions. You're arguing with your peers. Argue amongst yourselves. I am not here to argue. I can tell you for a fact the M60 is worse than the M48 Patton. That's not an opinion or a debate. Like E100, if you're trying to argue that, stop. It's not an argument, right? There's a reason why the M48 Patton plays better, performs better, and is used by more people. And sure, it's not a premium. Doesn't matter. It's very clear cut and dry. It was a trash tank, no armor, no pen, and no accuracy. How did you know? You should do 2-yo with each gun. Unfortunately, Rob, we're doing this on Blitzkit's tier list. I don't love the way they did it. It's all right. What's nice is that they have every tank here, and it's a lot easier to do this than it is to, you know, go over to Tier Maker and find a tier list where they haven't done it. But in general, it's still it's a little annoying that you can't have like 2 duplicates for different guns or something like that. So there's nothing you can really do, but it's all right. It's all right. Looks like the Yo is going to be making it into the OP category, though. We got 111 votes. 53% of them are going for OP, which is honestly not surprising. I'm glad that you guys are voting for the OP. I don't know. The 12% of you that have put the Yo in workable, I don't even know how you would struggle in a tank that is able to deal 900 damage in 1.71 seconds. And even if you don't want to use that gun, you have another gun, which does 900 damage in 5 seconds, but has 3k DPM. And even the 2-shot still has 2500 DPM. Like, in no situation does the Yo struggle to deal damage. So, I don't understand how 10% of you think that the Yo is so poor that you're going to have to put it in the lowest category possible. That's great. All right. Well, we are past the 2-minute mark, so the Yo, unsurprisingly, makes it into the OP category. This one was not a shocker for me. I'm glad most people agree in that situation, because it is an entirely overpowered vehicle. So, yeah. All right. I might change the timer to a minute, because there's so many tanks here. I don't know how long I want the stream to be. But next up, we have the T57 Heavy. So, here we go. Start poll. T57. Okay. This one I'm going to be interested to see, because a lot of people like complaining about the T57 Heavy. Good and workable. All right, here we go. T57 on the way. Made a small area to fish. Yeah, Ren, all you do is fish in Minecraft, you poob. I'm interested to see where the 57 Heavy is going to go. I mean, I have my own personal experience in the tank. And while we're doing this, let me load up the Wargaming launcher so I can cross-examine my own statistics while we are doing this. So far, the 57 Heavy seems to be making it into the super strong category. 90 votes. Damn, already? That's a lot of votes. All right. Well, I'm just going to get rid of the timer, because I don't think we really need it. I think it'll be very clear after, like, the first minute or so where the vehicle is going to be making it. All right. I think Wargaming did buff the reverse speed of the 57 Heavy, right? It used to be 12, and I think it's now 14 if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. I think it's now 14, which I don't know why they buffed a traverse. It didn't need one. 13. They buffed it by 1. Okay. Well, it's very clear that the T57 Heavy is going to be making it into the super strong category. I think when we see the once we see like a big enough discrepancy, we'll put it into the we'll put it into that category. So it's very clear that the 57 is making it to super strong. And I don't disagree. I put the 57 Heavy between super strong and OP, right? Because I'm doing pretty good in it. I've got 3,500 average damage, 88% win rate. It's only 16 games, but in general, I am a firm believer that most autoloaders are overpowered, and they completely defeat the purpose of a single-shot tank. And this autoloader is able to deal 1,200 damage in a matter of 3.5 seconds. Any tank that can deal that level of damage in that short of a time is kind of overpowered. So I think I did put this tank in OP on my tier list, but I think super strong is understandable. I think being one above or below where I've ranked my tanks is fine, but I think if I put like a tank in OP and you guys put it in like workable, which is probably bound to happen at some point, that's when we're going to have some problems. Now, this next one, I already know where it's going to go. The E5 is going to make it into super strong, and that's because it is just a super strong tank. So I'm 100% confident on where the E5 is going to land here. But we'll see. We will see. I'm interested, but I'm pretty expectant of this one to go into the super strong category. So I'll just put it there already, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, we'll see. Is mouse for beginners? Well, believe it or not, the mouse is the highest win rate tier 10 tank for beginners. If you make your way to like Blitzkit, they actually have Blitz Analysis at the bottom, which is another website, which is great for looking at overall statistics. And if you go to tier 10, you can see that the mouse is the highest win rate tank in the game. So I do think that it is a very good beginner tank, right? The better you are, the worse it does. If you look at 65% players, the top performing vehicles are E6. Ugh, I got some burps. We got Kron, E50, Rhino, E6. Makes sense, right? If you look at a relative win rate for 55 to 60% players, though, the mouse. If you look at 45% players, the mouse. And even if you look at the lowest level of skill, the mouse is still up there. So I do think the mouse is a very good tank for pretty average players, honestly. And this is a very, very clear evidence why. It's just a very, very good vehicle in general. So yeah, I don't think the mouse is anything incredible, but it's a decent tank. Very obviously, the E5 is going to be making it into the super strong category. We're not going to spend any more time on that one. This next one, I am interested to see where it's going to go. This is the Concept 1B. The Concept 1B is obviously a very, very strong tank. Oh, I'm mistyping. Well, I can't really. I'm not gonna say. Obviously, you guys know where I'm probably gonna put the Concept. From, you know, my experience playing the vehicle to everything else. Good, and then work. Okay, here we go. I'm very interested to see where the Concept 1B is honestly going to go. I'm very interested. Mouse is good for new players because the HP pool, and it's forgiving for new people. Exactly, yeah. Which is why, you know, on N90s, you know, a lot of people posted my video on N90, and I saw, like, Swatchman's top comment was like, "Oh boy, drama," or something, but honestly, I don't even try to post. It's not even drama that I'm posting as a content creator. It's trying to inform people that you can't just say that your thing is perfect, everybody else's is wrong, and then, you know, act and then post something that is completely false, right? Like, at the end of the day, my job as a content creator, anybody's job as a content creator, especially, you know, me being basically the largest content creator that makes reviews, I feel like it's my job to dispel false information, especially when people claim it to be gospel. So that's really as simple as it is. And 90 started drama, yeah. That's exactly. Well, I don't know if he didn't, like, at the end of the day, if you mess with the bull, you get the horns, right? And if you title he's trolling, I mean, I don't care. It doesn't affect me. This one's definitely going into the super strong category. I do see a lot of people in the OP, but either way, it's back and forth. I mean, free advertising for N90, yeah. That free advertising works so well for Martimator, he's no longer posting videos. At the end of the day, like, I just find it ironic how you see these content creators, like N90, like Amunet, who will criticize me for posting clickbait or, you know, posting this or that, and then they themselves post a clickbait title, try to claim that their content is better, and then make an utterly disastrous video. So, you know, I'm not here to attack N90, right? But you can't claim that your video is, we put the 57 in OP? No, you did not. No, you did not. I see it. It's 29%. You poob. But yeah, like, I'm never here to attack people, but I wasn't even the only CC. There was Zero, who's another official CC, who typed in a comment similar to what I had to say, which I talked about in the video. And I got a message from Canavro saying that he didn't like that N90 was doing this either. Like, at the end of the day, if you're going to be an official CC and you're going to be like, Wargaming's goody goody, then you don't want to, attack people around you and say that all their tier lists are nonsense and that yours is good. Good and workable. All right, there you go. Done. You and Canavro chill? Yeah, we've been chill for a while. What I've learned is that the community have no idea what they're talking about. I don't know, they're doing pretty good. So I have to say this tier list is decent so far. You guys are doing pretty good on this one. I'm expecting the E6 to go into the OP category. What I'm going to do is when we finish this tier list, we're going to screenshot it and we're going to line it up next to my video and we'll see how close your opinions are to where I ranked my vehicles, right? We'll see. I mean, I'm 100% confident the E6 is going to make it into OP. I'm interested to see. So, wow, 60% of people. That is the highest so far. We're going to be interested to see what tank has the highest percentage of people that agree on it, right? This tank, 60% of people agree. Well, actually, no. Basically, 80-ish to 85% of people agree that the E6 deserves to go into the OP to super strong category. And that's a good sign, right? The whole point of me as a content creator is to post information that you guys are going to listen to and that you'll actually, like the E6 is a tank that I think is challenging to play for most people. But it's nice to see that at least for the people watching this channel, they agree that it is an overpowered tank. So I will give you guys credit. You're pretty good on this one. I have no complaints there. E6 will go into the OP category. I'm talking about the CCs. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. N90's video wasn't even that bad. Like the idea, as I said I said it in my video. I said the idea was good. The execution was awful. Like he said, my tier list isn't going to have opinions, and then proceeded to put opinions in his tier list, which were objectively wrong by just statistics themselves. All right, here we go. OP. Super strong. Good. Workable. Okay, so if I'm to guess where you guys would put the E3, this one's tricky. Because the E3, it's got a lot of really, really good capabilities, but it's also heavily limited by its mobility, its accuracy is mediocre, and the DPM is on the lower side for a tank destroyer. If I'm not mistaken, the 268 version 4 actually has better DPM than the E3. If not, they're very similar. So I would have guessed definitely in the good to super strong category. Obviously, there's no world the E3 is making it into the OP category. I probably personally would have ranked the E3. I don't know where I put it in my tier list, but it would be in between super strong and good for me. Because the mobility really hurts the tank, but the gun depression, the high alpha, the great levels of pen, and solid hull down capabilities are really, really good. So it's a tricky one to really say where you'd want to put the E3, but it seems very evident to me that you guys are putting it into the good category. I think when we get to 100 votes, I will end each poll. So I think that's what we'll do. 100 votes and we end it. So you guys, there's 140 of you watching. When we reach 100, we end it off for each tank. E4 is much better than the E3, I agree. E3 on mines is OP, everything else is good. Yeah, I mean, mines, sometimes Canyon, and Normandy, the E3 is an absolute beast. Dead Rail as well, it can be really strong. Any map that you are requiring to control a ridgeline, the E3 dominates, right? Even Middleburg Hill, if you can get up that hill fast enough with super speed boost and stop the enemy from pushing up or get to that far wide corner, you're a menace in general, the E3, it's not a very great tank in every situation, but when you get it into that spot where you can go haul down against enemies, it is basically an impervious wall. Yeah, you can hit its hatch occasionally, but in general, it is an incredibly hard tank to deal with. And it's why, even if the tank had, you know, very mediocre values going for it, it still would, it'd be a very, very popular vehicle. E4 is beyond underrated. I agree. I don't really understand why so little people play it. All right. Well, we are at 95 votes. We are at good for the E3, so we're going to be leaving it there. It's very clear that it's going to be making it into the good category. So we're going to leave it there. There you go. All right. Well, I ended the poll, but it didn't bring it up. Let me reload the page. Let's see. Is it going to work this time? There you go. All right. What's next? We have the E4. Okay, this one will be interesting. This one will be interesting. E4. Super... Oh, wait, no. OP. Is the 57 Heavy a good heavy? You literally clicked on a stream. You see where the 57 Heavy is ranked. And then you asked a question. Sir? 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 Okay. Good. And then... workable. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Who's putting the E3 in workable? Yeah, what percent of people put it in workable? Let's see. E3. Ooh, 15% of people put it in workable. I mean, I get it. It's one of those tanks that if you don't know what you're doing, it falls apart very quickly. I don't know what my stats are. Let me see my stats in the E3. I mean, the problem is Wargaming always resets your frickin' press accounts every year, so it's hard to, you know, have an insane amount of battles. Yeah, I only have 5 games, so it's hard for me to really make an opinion on a vehicle that I only have 5 games on. But at least in the 5 games I've played, the E3 seems pretty good, right? So far, E4 is making it into the super strong. Wow, look at that. 80 votes, 58% of people are putting it into super strong. I'm honestly very surprised. The E4 is one of those vehicles that I wouldn't have thought people would agree as much as I do that it deserves to be in super strong. And like, you know, you could say that like, you know, a lot of people are like sheep and they're watching my videos and then they're only listening to like what I have to say. But I honestly think that most of you make your own opinions and that you don't let me influence. Like, obviously, if you're watching my channel, my opinions influence you. But at the same time, they're only going to influence you until you drive the tank. If you end up getting the vehicle and then you realize that, oh, wow, I hate this tank, you're not going to be like, oh, my God, I'm going to suck Droodles' slong off when he does a tier list. So I feel like most of these opinions are pretty sounded when it comes to this. I think that most of you are making these opinions based off of your experiences. And I have to say, so far, you guys are doing pretty good. Honestly, like this is a better tier list so far than I would consider most content creators to post. So we'll have to see. But I fully agree the E4 deserves to be in super strong. I don't think it's an OP vehicle, but I do think the level of DPM, the level of armor, the good mobility, and the damage, everything the E4 has is great. Like, sure, it's got really bad gun depression, but it's an amazing tank, and I do think that it deserves to be where it is. APCR standard is awful. Yeah, it is. It's terrible. It's pretty tragic. But as bad as it is, it still is like 290 APCR, so it's enough that it's not a big deal. The XM66F, I don't know where you guys are going to rank this one. I don't remember where I put it in my tier list, to be honest. So, we'll have to see. OP, super, and then we have good, and work. Okay, here we go. I can confirm Droodles as a big anaconda snake. Okay. You poob. I'll do it anyways. Of course you will. Don't be saying sus stuff unless you're over 18, you poob. Alright. Let's see what's going on here. I need to get rid of this timer. I asked Finley if they want to join me in VC. Alright, let me go over here. There you go. Alright, There you have it. Let me disable this. Oh, I already hear you joined. I'm hearing a lot of noises. Oh, there you go. I forgot I didn't have my headset unmuted.
Oh.
42% of people. I'm doing a strem, by the way. We're doing a live tier list.
Oh.
Where do you think the XM6XF was put? Super strong, OP, good, workable?
I don't know. Super strong?
Correct.
Yeah.
I either put my... I don't remember my tier. Let me pull up. Actually, no. I want to be surprised. I'm not going to look at my tier list until we finish the stream. I will do all of your guys' opinions, and then once we finish this tier list, I will screenshot both of them and line them up next to each other. That way we can see the differing opinions. Now, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I did do my tier list when the Rheinmetall Panzer Vogen was out. So I'm interested to see where this one will go. Panzer... Panzer Vogen. Oh, wait, that's a Q&A. No, that's not what I want. I want a poll. Here we go. RHM PZ. Okay. OP. I am going to guess this one's going to be a very, very diverse one. Just because of the fact not many people have the Rheinmetall Panzer Vogen, and it's a challenging tank to play. There you go. Start poll. He's kind of not N90, but N90 as a character, not the number. Yeah, I think it is N90, but I call him N90 because it's easier. Droodles gonna turn German while ranking the Alleinteil. People putting the XM in OP are the people who don't know about the mantlet. I mean, even with the mantlet weak spot on the XM, you have to remember the vehicle still features 3,400 DPM with Cali. It still has really good pen, good gun depression, good hull armor. A tank doesn't have to have every single value to be, like, busted, right? If it had no mantlet weak spot, it would actually be the most OP tank. So, it's understandable to me that it does have a mantlet weak spot. But I would have probably put the XM similar ranking. It would have either been in the OP to super strong category. The only tanks that I would have disagreed with so far, I would have put the Patton in I would have put the Patton in OP. I probably would have put the 57 Heavy in OP. And I don't know if I would have put the Concept in there. Concept's kind of back and forth. Same for the XM. The other tanks, E3, M60, I would have left where they are. E5, all the tanks in OP I agree with. So, most of the tanks I honestly agree with so far. Let's see how this poll's doing. 121 votes, that's more than enough. And it looks like you guys have rated it in the good category. Honestly, it's hard for me to really say where I'd put the Rheinmetall Panzer Vogen, because it's not an easy tank to play. It's not, right? I made a video on it just the other day. And, you know, some of the games you play, you do really well, right? I had an 8,000 damage battle in the tank when it first came out. I had another 6k carry. I had a 5,600 damage win in my video the other day that I haven't posted yet. So, like, it's a vehicle which can do very, very well. But at the same time, it is heavily limited by its poor APCR standard. It is heavily limited by the non-existent armor. And it's kind of poor on movement dispersion. So I would agree that I think personally the vehicle would probably be in super strong to good, but I think that this is a fair assessment, especially for the skill level of the average player in Blitz. So I think that's fair. Next up we have the Leopard 1. Start poll. Leopard 1 will also be interesting because the Leopard 1 is obviously a vehicle that is, well, I'm not going to say what I think about it yet. I'll say it after. Because as somebody said, if I say something, people will probably be a little bit swayed into their viewpoints. But we'll see. We'll see. Hot tank, only TD in OP or super strong should be the Hori or WZ. Well, I think you already said though the E4 should be in super strong, Rob. I saw your comment earlier, you poob. I mean, let me look at the tank destroyers. Grille, I'd probably put honestly I'd probably put the Grille in super strong as of now, due to its capabilities. Jag is going to like workable for me. 268. Yeah, honestly, Rob, I'd have to say that I think most of the tank destroyers are still pretty good in Blitz. Like the 268, I'd probably put in the super-ish strong to good category. If YouTube polls had another tab, I would have had super strong and then strong as well, and I would have put the 268 in probably strong over super strong, but unfortunately, I can't have a 5 tab on YouTube. What about Badger? Badger's pretty far down, but okay, what are we doing here, tier maker? The Badger for me, I'd probably put the Badger in the. I'd probably put it in the. Probably good. I don't know. It's hard to really say. I'd probably put the Badger in good. It's not terrible, but it's definitely not what it used to be. But it's not a bad take. All right, so the Leo, unsurprisingly, makes it into the super strong category, and I fully agree. I think the Leopard one is an absolutely insane vehicle. Honestly, in a good player's hands, I think it's in the OP category, but we're going to put it into super strong, and that's because it has DPM, it has mobility, it has reverse speed, because for some reason Wargaming gave it gear oil. It has adaptive concealment, if I'm not mistaken. Like, yeah, I think for most people, because at the end of the day, right, the majority of people probably watching today's stream are in the 50 to 55% range. So I think for that level of skill, I think that's actually a pretty solid ranking for the Leopard 1. I think the higher you are, the better the tank goes. All right. E50M. Start poll. E50. Okay. OP. I wish I could, like, copy and paste this instead of having to type it out each time. But OP, super strong. We have good and workable. I might just do O, S, G, and W, and then people can... Yeah, maybe that's what I'll just do. But that might be too... Some people might not understand that. 70%. Okay. Solly, you poober. Sounds like you want your schlong. I got a message from Ren. Permission to unmute. Yes, you can unmute, Ren. If that's what you want. Alright. 263 is miserable. I actually like the 263, to be honest. I mean, it's a very a subjective opinion, because the 263's playstyle is only going to fit the player who enjoys that type of tank. But I honestly do enjoy playing in the 263. I don't remember where I ranked it, but I'd probably put it in the super strong category. No joke. E50M is ugly. Dash quickie baby. I actually think it's a really nice looking tank. Well, I'm going to end this poll. 117 votes. 84% are putting it into the OP. Like, what a shocker.
For workable.
What? Oh, yeah. Wait,
Someone
let me
put
see.
workable.
Bro, wait. Where is it? 2% of people put it in workable. Listen, I'm gonna be honest. For those of you that are putting your opinions in, like, good and workable, read the room. Read the room.
Why what? It's not even.
Alright. Kampf Panzer 50 ton. This one will be interesting. This one will actually be very interesting, the 50 ton. OP. Super strong. I'm just gonna do S, G, and W. Okay? We'll see if people can understand this. It should be pretty easy, okay? OP, S is super strong, G is good, and W is workable, okay? This is the Kampfpanzer 50 ton. 260 sucks on most maps, considering most maps require gun depression. I mean, that is true, but usually I'll just use the terrain around me to work the gun depression. I can't really say anything about the 263 on this account, because I don't even imagine I have more than like 3 games in it. Yeah, I have 2 games, so it's not really possible for me to make an opinion on this account. But if you go to my main account, which is player_56, you can see my overall statistics in the 263 all time. And it's 70% with 3100. So it's not bad. I mean, the problem is, again, I don't really have enough games in it in recent time to have an opinion on the vehicle. But from the experiences I've had in the 263 over the years, especially because it's in the best state it's ever been in now, I do think it's a pretty strong vehicle. All right, let me get rid of this. I'll leave Blitz stars up just in case I have to look at my stats there. Tier list. Okay, let's end this one. If Sheridan is cancer, then E50M is Ebola. So the 50T made it into the super strong category. I agree with that. I agree with that. Nobody put it in workable. 0% put it in workable. Wow, that's actually a good thing. I fully agree, though. I think the Conf Panzer 50 ton, it's a slightly worse E50M right now. Yes, it has more damage per minute, but it's not nearly as mobile. It doesn't have nearly the pushing potential, and it doesn't have reactive, right? The E50M is overpowered because not only does it have all of this pushing potential, but then it gets reactive added on. Like, what are we doing, Wargaming? Like, actually, what are we doing?
One of those times where you
Yeah.
could like do double tune and then like you just hold W the entire game and you win.
Well, that's why I called out that Risk player when I was in platoon with was it you, Finley? Yeah, I was in platoon with you, I
Yeah.
think. Like, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
like he said they were platooning. I saw they platooned like double E50M for like 3 hours, and he's like, I'm trying to get my win rate up to 75%. I'm like, that's chill, and I get it, but you're not really proving any skill if you're just spamming the most overpowered tank in platoon for 3 hours. You're just killing the game at that point. Like, I don't know. I just get a little frustrated when I see people abusing overpowered mechanics.
The only single shot tank that I know of that you can just hold W the entire game and get away with it.
I don't know. Some autoloaders do that too. Caro is a good example.
Yeah,
God, I frick.
I
Oh,
say automotive.
I was about to say. I hate
Yeah,
Caro players. The Caro players are by TVP players are annoying. You know, most autoloader players in general are annoying. The Caro players are the most annoying because they think they can get away with whatever they want, and honestly, half the time they do. How do you
Yeah,
counter a
it's
tank that has a 4-shell 380 alpha? Like what?
Yeah, plus I don't even know why, but because the armor's not even that good, but they somehow hit everything. It's so annoying.
Well, yeah, they're 40%ers. They always hit their shots.
They have full armor.
All right. Here we go. Boat, mouse, and OP. Well, you got to wait a little bit because there's still 2 more tanks to go. But we are in Germany. What tank are we on? The VK-72. I would personally probably put it in. It's definitely not super strong right now. It's good. I agree. Yeah, I agree with the consensus. Like, it has moments when it feels really fun, but it also has moments when like the gun sucks and your armor does absolutely nothing. You get permatracked and die. So because of that, it kind of evens out.
I mean, if you want to drive a big alpha super heavy tank, then just with tungsten, then just drive the 60 TP.
Let's see. I don't know. I really don't understand why the 60 TP has 2700 health. It's so dumb.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say nerf the health to 2500, but you give it AP standard. I think it would be really fun then.
Yeah, I think it should have AP standard anyway, and its alpha should be nerfed to like they just need to they need to put its alpha back to 600, and then they need to remove tungsten, and then they can increase its DPM accordingly. It doesn't need 630 alpha. It's stupid. It's the same reason the vehicle is incredibly overpowered on World of Tanks PC, because this thing has 750 frickin' alpha on a haul down heavy that you can't pen. Like, the problem with World of Tanks PC is that all the haul down tanks dominate the meta, and it's very hard to play PC because you just go on a ridgeline and some shitter in a Chieftain FE2 one just sits there and goes.
I think PC is just the hold down tanks and artillery, and it kind of just ruins it, which is why I don't want to play it.
Well, yeah, because Wargaming added artillery to counter haul down tanks. So basically, if you're driving a tank that has armor, you get screwed because you get shot by artillery. And if you're driving a tank that doesn't get armor, you get screwed because you get shot by the tanks with armor and artillery.
Yeah, but because artillery is HE only, if you're driving like a light tank, you get extra specially screwed.
Yeah. Now, I am interested to see where the E100 goes, because it has two different guns. It has a 12.8, and it has a 15 centimeter. Now, what?
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 I'm saying E.
Okay.
I forgot.
Personally, I'd probably put the 100 in the super strong. That's what I
Yeah.
will say. With the 12.8, with the 15 centimeter, I think it's good it's in between. But I think with the 12.8, I personally would put it in super strong. That's 2800 DPM. That's pretty insane. But
Yeah.
seems like most people, I mean, to be fair, it's very close. It's 46% to 44%, so people are very, very back and forth. Both guns on the 100 are decent, yeah. Well, now it's swayed in the super strong. Honestly, I probably caused that sway, but I'm fine with that because I think people were thinking about the 100 with only the 15 centimeter, and you have to remember that 12.8 is insane. 2800 DPM is crazy good.
Maybe you have like two E100s and then you put one in each.
No, you can't do that on this list.
Blitzkid's dog shit.
But honestly, I think if the tank is able to perform in that level, then it deserves to be in that category. But yeah, I agree with the consensus. I think that me saying the 12.8, I think a lot of people started remembering, but the 12.8 definitely pushes that vehicle into the super
12.8
strong
is kind of
category.
insane, to be honest.
Mouse. I don't know where the mouse
Good.
is gonna go. I really don't. I don't like the mouse
It's
that
good at the
much.
moment.
A Vogue
Let's
mouse
see.
in PP. Oh my gosh.
What? In PP?
Yeah,
What?
someone typed PP instead of OP.
Oh.
Yeah.
Pooper wrong.
Did you see what they
Yeah,
did to your building, by the way?
What?
In Minecraft?
Yeah,
Oh
demon
yeah, I
cop.
saw.
Did you kick him?
Yeah. We
What
just moved.
do you mean you moved?
Yeah, too lazy to reboot all of it.
So
You
you
just see
moved to a
how much the
different
damage.
island again?
Yeah, I mean,
Bro,
I'm too lazy to
I'm
reboot
not building
everything.
another house. This is not happening again.
I know.
Why do we
You
keep
can
Once I
moving?
have
run.
again energy, then I'll go back. That's yeah.
Also, you have permission to blow up my cave house. It's kind of dog shit anyway.
I know it was awful. That was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
I mean, the exterior was okay, but the interior was kind of bad.
How'd you all decide the RHM ranking? I'm not the one who decided anything, Cora. I'm just the one who sits here and watches. That's really the best way to describe it. I mean, to be fair, Cora, I don't disagree. I would have put the Rheinmetall in between super strong and good. I don't know where I put it in my tier list. And as I said, I'll take a look at the end of my video. But I think, especially for most 50%ers, it is an incredibly mediocre light tank. It doesn't have really anything outstanding going for it, apart from the mechanics, which most people that are average aren't going to take enough advantage of. Especially when you realize vehicles like the T100 LT and WZ-132-1. Like, this is the same problem I have with the Rheinmetall as well. Why would I drive the Rheinmetall, which kind of sacrifices the gun for the mechanics, when I could drive a 132-1, which gets adaptive concealment, and still has an amazing gun, still has an amazing mechanic, and the most view range in the game. So I can go that route, and I can not sacrifice much and still get a great mechanic. Or I can go the other way, and I can get tracer shells on the T100 LT with much better armor than Rheinmetall, much better camo, almost this, I think it is the same view range. That's the problem. Like, for me at least, the Rheinmetall sacrifices a lot for those advantages, where the other tanks don't sacrifice nearly as much. And because of that, I do feel like if you told me out of the three tanks, Rheinmetall, Panzer Vogen, 132-1, and 200 LT, which of the three could I do best in? I'd probably do better in both the 132-1 and the T100 LT, just because they do better in most situations.
The Rheinmetall just kind of like relies too much on its consumables instead of raw performance.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing with the
I don't know why.
CS63, but the CS actually has pretty good values going for it now. But like again, like the Leopard just shits on it, so
Yeah.
So this one was honestly pretty understandable. Good and workable were the two highest categories for the mouse. It's not surprising at all, to be honest. I
It's
fully
mid.
stand by that. RHM has gun depression compared to the T100. I do agree. The T100
Plus
is
the Type
better.
5
What I don't
don't make
understand though is
both.
how the Sheridan is ranked so much higher. I mean, personally for me, Cora, I said I wasn't gonna do this, but I will pull up my tier list. Just because you will see that I don't know where I put the Rheinmetall. I might have put it in super strong, but I definitely put the Sheridan in OP. This is my tier list from 2 weeks ago. So if we go to the end, I put the Sheridan in. So the Rheinmetall Panzer Vogen, I put it in strong. I don't have a strong here. But, so, as I said, in between good and super strong, which is exactly what I was saying there before. So I put it in strong, and then I also put the Sheridan in OP. And I think the reason why most people consider the Sheridan, including myself, to be OP is simply because of the fact it just gets away with whatever it wants, right? If you're in a pub battle and some little rat Sheridan player pokes a ridge, boom, that's 600 health gone, backs in the cover. Yeah, the other light tanks are annoying, but
It's
I don't know.
achievable worse.
What do you think
Like,
about the Sheridan, Ren, and Finley?
it's my
Uh,
first light tank that I averaged 3k in.
I
And I didn't even
honestly
try.
averaged close to 4K in it on my main account over the past like 100 games I've played in it. I don't know. I think it's
Honestly, I
obviously
don't know.
light
I
tanks are
don't play
subjective.
Sheridan.
I haven't played enough games on this account to really
It's
say anything.
the entire Sheridan line from tier 9 to tier 10, to be honest, is like
It's
the
well, the
most brain dead thing I've
T92E1's
ever done.
overpowered as hell. T49's definitely more of a
Yeah,
skill-based
they're
tank,
both
but
so dumb. Like, you just pull up into like a bush that looks at something, you click on somebody. Normally you'll roll like 600 or something, and then you just leave again, and they can't do anything because you're too quick and
yeah. Well,
you've
the
got
question is, why would
way
you
better
drive a
power.
Grille when you can just drive a Sheridan? Like, that's
You drive
really.
a Grille hard.
To be fair, though, the Grille is very good now. I have to say, after Wargaming, like, actually gave it buffs it needed, which was specifically gear oil. Gear oil took it from what was pretty average to actually being able to back up, which is what it needed. Being able to reverse after shooting was the only thing that it needed, and now that it has that, it's actually really good. And the traverse speed buff as well.
Yeah, I think we've established that I despise Grille players after the buffs.
You just don't know how to use a mouse. Mouse can be cracked. Yes, mouse can be cracked. It can also be terrible. The mouse is entirely map dependent. Good luck playing a mouse on Canyon. If the enemy team controls mid, you lose. That's as simple as it is. And it's that case on a lot of maps. You play on Dead Rail, guess what? You're screwed in a mouse. You play on Mines, you're screwed in a mouse. Sure, you can go cap the base, but really, is that a productive thing you're doing? The mouse is
No.
only good on certain maps against certain opponents in certain situations. If you're on Desert Sands and the entire enemy team is a medium lineup, by the time you get to the brawl, the game's already over. It is a tank which
Man,
has moments when it can be amazing. Most of the times you play the mouse, it is entirely team dependent.
could I say something
No.
about the mouse? Oh,
No, you can.
yeah,
Oh
I
my
think the
god.
mouse, it only has like HP, but HP doesn't really go far considering that it only takes one autoloader and 5 seconds to take away half of that health that you
Yeah.
had, and then you have nothing to work with anymore.
VK90, I agree with being super strong. It's just a flat better mouse. Even when I used to play comp, I would literally beg the callers to use the VK90 instead of the mouse just because it's just so much better at what it does.
I used VK90 against the pro comp clan on EU once when we were doing comp, and no, normally I would last longer than the mouses because I would just do the mouse's job but better because they just couldn't pen me.
And your gun's just flat better and has more accuracy and more pen.
And yeah, you've got 300 mils of AP pen on a super heavy. Like why?
LP super good and workable. Okay. Grill. I will be interested to see where the grill goes because I think it'll go probably into good. But we'll see.
Nah,
The
I'm
Grille
putting
is still the most, or second most played tank destroyer in tier 10.
I mean, it's really good now.
VK90 is super good until you get a high DPM medium circling you. I mean, that's the case for any heavy tank, though, right? Like, if you're up against a decent E50M player, guess what? You're cooked. That's as simple as it is. You can't do anything in... Like, shooting an E50M turret is such a cringe task. Especially if you're on PC, because you actually have to manually aim. If you're... if you're on mobile, it's easier because you can aim it at the weak spot and it'll follow that weak spot. But, oof, I was up against an E50M on Oasis Palms with Flossie, or Desert Sands yesterday with Flossie, and I was 10 feet away and I was still spending longer than I should have to pen the turret.
I have coordination problems, so it really annoys me trying to aim at that turret.
Well, the Grille actually made it into super strong. I'm surprised. I
Mhm.
thought
I'm
people
not.
would have put it into
I'm-
good, but I don't disagree. So, yeah.
The Grille's like that one annoying kid in class who keeps poking you. But they
No,
keep
that's the
poking you.
Sheridan and the Hori. The Grille is
Well, I
just
mean,
a
like-
balanced version of those two tanks. Like, the Grille is one of the few
the
tanks I
Sheridan
actually think that's
Hori-
balanced that isn't cringe for me.
No, the Sheridan and the Hurry are the annoying kids that slap you every 5 seconds. The Grille
No, that's
seems
just
like
your
that
dad
one
with his
sport-
belt.
Yeah. The worst thing is that that's not even a joke.
Workable. Okay, there you go. Ren starts crying.
Yeah.
How is the VK90 in the same category as the E5? I don't even know what that one means. The E5 is like an incredibly strong tank. It is arguably almost OP. In fact, auto ridgeline it is OP. It's just that it doesn't have a crazy amount of DPM, and against an autoloader.
That is the highest vote for workable I've seen so far.
Yeah, the YAG will be the lowest rated tank out of the tanks that we've done so far. I think
I just
the
love-
Vafentrager will be the first vehicle to probably go into the workable category, to be honest. But we'll have to see. Bro, I can't scroll down anymore. I have to zoom out one. There you go. Oh my god, it still won't... Oh, did I get it? Okay, we're good. There you
Honestly, I feel sorry for YAG players because in a couple of updates, Wargaming are just gonna release a tank that makes the YAG completely obsolete.
go. Well, we'll have to see what happens with Reforged. If they add a decent commander for tank destroyers, the YAG might be brought back. It might be revived. Alright, well... It's close, honestly. It's 36% workable and 44% good. But it is going to be going into the good category. I don't fully disagree. I think there are moments when the YAG can do good, but I don't think the YAG is on the same level as a Rheinmetall Panzer Vogen or a VK72 or a Mouse. So I do think the YAG would have personally been in the workable category. But once again,
Yeah.
not my tier list. Start poll.
For me, it
Bob.
doesn't help that every Jaeger player that I face is really bad at the game as well.
I think you should just say every player you face is bad at the game.
Yeah, but like Jaeger players, like in general, like most players, if
They
you
just
shoot them
don't.
in the
They don't
side,
get away with
like,
making stupid plays like other tanks do. That's the difference. An
No, I mean, like,
E50M player can
if-
be a
if you shoot a player
20%er
in the
and
side-
YOLO you and get away with it.
I mean, if you shoot like a player in the side, at some point they're gonna turn and face you. Jaeger players don't even do that; they just give up.
Yeah. YAG is totally unflexible in most maps. Yeah, I agree, Cora. It is. The YAG
The
is.
Jaeger,
I think it's the worst tank. Let me think, right? Let me think. Let me look at all the tanks because I might be forgetting one.
the Jaeger is the most accurate thing I can use to describe bipolar disorder.
Yeah, I will have to agree. I think the YAG is, out of all the tanks in tier 10 right now, and I said this a little bit back, I still think the YAG is the worst tier 10 for winning in the game right now. Yes, you can have good streaks, and if you're platooning with a solid medium player, it can go well. But at the end of the day, why would I bother driving a YAG when I can drive a Foch and have more armor, more mobility, more damage output with a auto-loading gun? Like, that's the problem. It's just, and by the way, you can drive a Murat, which has a double shot 370 alpha, which is 740 damage in 2.5 seconds. Like, it's just, you're basically dealing the same damage as a Yag in a double shot medium. And the Marat's not even that good. Like, I like the Marat, but it's definitely nothing like, you know, amazing. And that's the problem. Like, double shot tanks like the Rhino and the Minnow. Like, yeah, a Minnow is such a good example. 2 shots from a Minnow is almost 1,000 damage. And it has a turret, it has gun depression, it has way better armor. A Minnow will beat a Yag 9 times out of 10. And that's why it's just meh.
BZ75 with hash.
Well, there you go. The Waffen did make it into the workable category. And I agree. I think the Vafentrager is fully the definition of workable. So, yeah, we're gonna leave it there.
The Waffen F1 is bipolar disorder.
Yeah. That one I am not surprised at all. I remember when it first came out and there were people trying to say, like, oh my god, it's so OP. I'm like, just drive a 4005. Like, I literally ask people, give me one advantage the Vafentrager has over the 4005. The only thing it has is HE. I do like the alpha. Like, when you can get a clip working in the vehicle, it is kind of insane. You deal literally, you know, with an HE clip, you can deal almost 3,000 damage. Like, you can kill anything. It's insane. So that part of the tank I do like. I also like the alpha over the 4005 because if somebody pokes and you only get one shot, you can deal 600 and 570 rather than, you know, a 410. So there are advantages, but the problem is for that alpha, you also have to reload for 26 seconds to get a shell back, or maybe 28 seconds. It's meh. It's like, I'm actually doing surprisingly well in it. My stats on my press account in this tank are 3,600 with 76% for 40 games. So evidently you can do well in it, but I still don't really love playing in it. That's really the best way to describe it.
The Waffen F1 also sacrifices what, camo and mobility as well.
Yeah. I do think it's better than the Jagpanzer, but I don't think it's much better than the Jag. It's better than the Jag just because it can move. That's really as simple as it is. The Jag, if your team leaves you, you're screwed. You know, if you see that your team's heading to medium flank in the Jag, and you go over there to support them, and then your mediums die or they decide to leave you, that's it, your game's over. And I've had it happen a lot. It's the same problem with the E3. I remember distinctly I was doing a stream and I played a battle on Yukon in the E3, went over to the medium flank, got hauled down on the bush that like everybody uses that looks at the crossing. And my whole team full speeded ahead of me. And because of that, the enemy mediums, which didn't go to medium side, immediately appeared behind me and killed me. And there was nothing I could do. And, like, it's the same problem with the Jag. If your team doesn't support you, you're screwed. Jag is literally torture. What's funny is I actually had the Jagpanzer as a tank in one of my comp strats. I don't know if I'd still use it there. I might swap it out for, like, the E3 at this point. But, I don't know. The Jag, like, honestly, the Jag can do well if you support it. It's a great tank if you can support it. Like, if you imagine you had a team that actually helped you, it would do great. You have 800 alpha, you have decent armor. It's just the moment anything gets to your side, your game's over. That's really as simple as it is. T100 LT. I'm surprised there's that many people putting the T100 LT in OP. 37% of people think it's an OP tank. I don't disagree. I think that the mechanics the vehicle has, the view range, and the camouflage values do allow it to get away with a lot more than it should be able to. I think they should just remove tracer shells from the tank and it'll be fine. That's what I think. But
remove tracer shells from the game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think.
I think the Panzer Vogen should have it because the Panzer Vogen actually plays like a spotting tank rather than a damage dealing tank. But I don't think the T100 deserves it. I especially don't think the 907 deserves it. All right, so we're gonna put this into super strong. All right.
The 907 you could give it extra DPM and just remove the tracer shells and it would be fine.
No, it doesn't need extra DPM. It already has like 3,400.
Yeah, but
no.
At that point, T22 exists, and then you can't really play the 907.
907 still has much better camo. That's the main advantage of the 907. It has the highest camo for a medium in tier 10.
That is true, actually. Yeah, I need to use its camo more then.
It's why the 140 is literally useless, because the 140 and the 907 have the exact same camo while sitting still, except the 907 has every other advantage. OP, super good and workable.
The 907's basically just a fat light tank.
Dead Rail is actually bad for the Ag, in my opinion. I don't think there's really any map that is... Well, I think Himmelsdorf is one of the maps that the Ag does all right on. Like, Himmelsdorf and Dynasty are really the only two maps you're going to do effective in a YAG. I've said it in the past. I think Wargaming should design maps in a way that all tank classes do well on all maps. Every single map should not have... Like, for example, Middleburg. Why is Middleburg medium side a massive freaking hill? Why? Why did Wargaming decide that was an idea? What Middleburg should have been is the hill was just flattened, and there was like a little bit of a divider between both sides. That way, you could drive your heavies over to the medium flank and not have to worry about your team dying before you get there. And second of all, Middleburg needs a area where you can use side scraping potential on the hill, because like a good game dev would look at Middleburg and they would realize, oh, 8 out of 10 battles are being fought on the hill. And the games that aren't being fought on the hill, the team that goes up usually wins. This would be very easy statistics to tell. They could easily look at this. And doing that information, they could easily then see, wow, look, people in super heavies really suck on Middleburg. I wonder why. Maybe it's because they spent 8 years climbing up the hill to then do literally nothing. Like, what do you do in an E100 on Middleburg? You drive all the way up the hill, and then you have this big old boxy turret. You're fighting these hull-down mediums. You just can't do anything. The moment there's a hull-down tank, like a Kron or a Concept that holds Middleburg on the other flank, you just can't move up. Your game's over. It's stupid. And it defeats the purpose of driving tanks, which are meant for the pushing potential. Maps should be designed so that no matter where you play, they can push or play, right? That's the one thing I like about World of Tanks PC, is that the map design is much better. Not all the maps are great on PC, but they have done a much better job allowing you to have a position that you can always work. And if you don't like certain maps, you can disable them, which is how Blitz should be. You should have the ability to disable 3 maps in Blitz. Instead of, you know, their system where you can, or whatever, they remove like 3 maps and they put 3 maps in the pool every like season for Blitz. Instead of doing that, Wargaming should just make it so that you can just decide what 3 maps you don't want to play on when driving each tank, and you can have like your own set of options for each one. Object 140 is good. Honestly, I don't disagree with that. I think it's better than the Waffen F1, so I'll leave it in good. I think that's a fair assessment. T62A.
Maybe I should make a tier list, and then, but like, it would be like really satirical.
And then I'll make a video crapping on you? No, joking.
Yeah, but mine would be a joke.
All
Like, I
tier
would
lists
put
are nonsense. Mine's not. That's what you should title it.
all tier lists are bad. Mine isn't. Puts every autoloader and tank destroyer in OP and everything else in workable.
Honestly, N90 can't even get mad at me for making a video on his tier list because he asked for it.
Nah, let bro cook. Let him cook.
A title is one thing, and then actively showing my YouTube thumbnails and only my video thumbnails in the first 1 second of your video is a second thing. You're actively saying, I disagree with how Droodles does his tier lists. They're nonsense. Mine's better. And then you put a big old mess.
Oh yeah, no, he did the. Oh no, he committed a great crime by saying that.
I don't even understand what his...
Kindly.
Well, the problem was he like tried saying like, you know, my tier list is going to be better because it's going to be easier for every player to understand. And as I said in the video, I didn't disagree with how he did the system. I actually didn't. I liked that system. It's just he used terrible opinions. Like the mouse was in... Well, he put the 116 F3 as easier to play than like a mouse. I was like, huh?
What?
I don't know if you watched my video. Just go look at where he ranked the tanks.
Bad, though.
It's one of the worst tanks in the game, and he ranked it as like easy to play and better. He ranked it better than like a lot of tanks, which should. He ranked it better than the 3-shot bat chat. Like,
What?
yeah, like
Yeah, being penned with every single shell that gets fired at your turret whilst missing all of your shells is way
Good.
easier than dealing 1,050 damage in less than 5 seconds and having 3 kpm and going
Yeah.
60 kpa and having good camera and good
it's just I get very irritated when people are like, your opinions are bad, and then proceed to like say that they're gonna make opinions based off of the public's perceiving, and then they don't even use like actual statistics to make their opinion.
Yeah.
2% of people put the 62 in OP. That's tragic.
Oh my god.
I agree with
they're trolling.
I
There's
agree
no
with
way they're
Middleburg being
being
horrible for super heavies. Yeah, it's tragic, Cora. It's not just Middleburg. It's the problem with Blitz's map design is most maps are not designed for super heavies. Like if you're on, for example, Middleburg or not Middleburg, Castilla, where do you go? Like every time I play a super heavy and I get placed on like Middleburg or not, I keep saying Middleburg, Castilla, I legitimately have to think like, well, I can't go up the hill because I'll be farmed by heavies. So, you know, I usually end up either going towards B or towards the far spot. But like if you don't get support from your team, you're just screwed. Like it's absolutely tragic. And it's why super heavies in this meta were giving us overbuffed mediums, and they've overbuffed autoloaders to a point where there's really not a reason to drive super heavies. Like,
buff autoloaders, they decrease the prevalence of them. That's
oh
what they
yeah,
said in their notes.
yeah, that was my favorite part. Wargaming said they wanted to balance out autoloaders by buffing them.
Yeah, we're gonna make the Yo go faster. We're gonna make the 57 go faster.
So let's see what
We're
we've
also gonna
ranked
buff
here. So we
the
had
power
the 62A, which was put into good, and I don't disagree with that. I think the 62A is it's all right. You know, it's I did my play 10 in it a couple weeks ago, and I averaged like 3,800. No, actually, it might have even been more. It was like 4K average with 10 games, and I won every single battle. So it is a tank that you can do well in, right? It's a medium at the end of the day. And as I just said, we're in a medium meta. So even if you're driving a medium that's not that good compared to the others, you can still do well in it. And because of that, I still think it is I still think it's it's an all right vehicle. Should I join the tier list trend and make a tier list based on tournaments? Oh God. The problem with doing a tier list based on. Also, guys, start voting, you poobs. We gotta get to 100 votes on the T22. The problem with doing a tier list on comp is it's basically going to be 5 tanks in the OP category, or you know the comp meta category, and then every other vehicle will be in bad. That's the problem with the comp tier list. Like this meta, it is AMX M4, 215B. IS7 always makes some appearances. Probably a mix of the Boschation and the Rheinmetall. Maybe the 132 one for its view range here and there. Apart from that, AMX M4, did I say that? I think I did.
The Chieftain.
TM?
Chieftain's not being used. Oh yeah, and the E50M, that's right, and the E50M. Apart from that,
Yeah.
like, oh, and maybe the T22. But like apart from that,
Don't worry.
99% of the other tanks are not being used. So that's the only problem with the comp tier list.
Yeah.
So right now, it's hard for me to end the poll because 42 to 43% of people are saying the T22 is OP, and 42 to 43% of people are saying the T22 is in super. Now it's 42 and 42%. Yeah, comp tier list is going to be easy to make. 5 good tanks, rest trash. Yeah, exactly. All right, I'm going to end the tier list, and we're going to see what it ends up being. Here we go.
The tier list is gonna
Bro,
be like
it's exactly the same. I'm going to put the T22 into... It has DPM. It has armor. But if we're putting the Kampfpanzer 50-ton and the Leopard 1 into super strong, I think we'll put the T-22 in the super strong.
Put
Because
it at like the top of the strong though.
I never rank them like that. It's just if it fits in the category or not.
Okay.
People always spend too much effort, like, I'm gonna put this one above this one and this one above this. I'm like, nah. It's either it's a super strong tank or it's not.
You know, the comp tier list is gonna be so funny though. It's just gonna be all the tanks with reactive in OP, and then the rest are gonna be like in the dog shit tier.
OP, super. It's interesting to see that the tech tree tanks always get a lot more, like, certain vehicles people aren't voting on as much as the other tanks. Like when I did the E6, it like instantly shot up to like 120 votes. But when I do the T22, it's very slow, and I think it's because not as many people own the collectors versus the tech trees.
And also because I think wargaming are like overbuffing tech tree tanks to encourage free-to-play players to play the game more.
All
I
right,
think
here we go. What tank are we looking at? 907? Yeah. I agree so far with the listing of the 907. 907 is worse than T22. I don't agree with that. I think that they are two entirely different play styles, and one of them involves skill and one of them doesn't. The 907 is a tank that is actually great if you know what you're doing. It's the only medium in tier 10 that features tracer shells, and I still believe it to be the best all-round medium in tier 10. Yes, the E50M is overpowered, and I do think the E50M is a better tank than the 907, but at the end of the day, if you told me I could only play one medium for the rest of Blitz in tier 10, it would probably be the 907 in its current state. It has tracer shells, it has great accuracy, it has fantastic DPM, it has good turret armor, it has good gun depression, and it has some of the best camouflage. And it means any situation you're in, you can always do well.
yeah, the other reason why you drive a 907 over the E50M is because if you drove the E50M and spammed it, then your father would leave to get some milk.
All right. I wasn't even paying attention. I heard what you said, but my brain didn't register it. All right.
Your brain, you had a brain fart.
907 is very clearly going into super strong. 57% of people are saying that. IS7, I already know this is going into super strong. Honestly, do you guys think I should even do a poll? I'll do IS7 and then I'll just do super or OP. That's it. It won't be making it into good. So you guys can vote whether you think the IS7 is super strong or OP. Those are really the only two categories that matter. Yeah, I'm just gonna immediately put it in the super strong. Like, I feel like this one's a very, very obvious. The IS7 doesn't have anything inherently OP about it. It's got really good mechanics all round, but there's nothing OP about the tank. It's just a very, very good vehicle.
The IS7 is the first thing that I think of whenever you play Blitz and think of the phrase "old reliable."
Yeah. Well, I consider that mainly the E5 for me. That thing is just so,
I think if they kept its top speed at 50, then it would be overpowered.
Alright. Let's see. Yeah, what a shocker. 94% of people think it's super strong. Yeah, there's just no point to really, like, some of these tanks, honestly, if I see ones that are super obvious, I might not even do a poll, because, like, certain tanks are just too easy to know where they're going to be ranked already. But that's probably one of the only ones, to be fair.
You see, chat, this is where Droodles starts going from a democratically elected leader to a communist dictator. And he starts choosing.
I am Donald Rump. Alright, so the IS-4, where do you think the IS-4 is going to go? I already know where it's going to go.
Good or super strong, I'd say.
Super strong? No. No. It's going to be in good. 100%. I'm going to guess the exact percentage of people. It's going to be 62% of people are going to put it in good.
Oh,
I
wait,
think it's
what
gonna
tank?
be 57%.
The
I
IS-4.
Oh,
It will make it in good. It is not a super strong tank.
I
yeah.
think it's gonna be 57%.
What percent?
57.
I don't
Oh,
know. It's 67 right
67.
now. Yeah. I
Oh,
knew it
you're
would be
close.
a high. It's just like the IS-4, it's all right, but the problem is A, its on movement dispersion is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life, which sucks. And B, it has really, really bad traverse speed on the turret, which means that when you pair the terrible turret traverse speed with the terrible on movement dispersion, you just can't hit shots on the move. It's tragic. Anybody that's driven the tank knows exactly what I'm talking about. You know, my guess for the win rate percentage was literally spot on. Or not the win rate, the voting percentage. It is
Oh my
literally
god.
62% on the dot.
This is rigged. It's rigged.
All right. Well,
We
we
need
don't
to
need to spend more time on that one. It's very clear the IS-4 is it's good.
We need to recount the votes. This is clearly rigged. Rigged cheating tactics exposed.
Rigged cheating.
Ghost accounts.
All right.
Their
Next
friends'
up,
tanks.
777.
Yeah, no,
777.
fell off.
I already know where this one's gonna go. Like it's
Good.
not good.
I think, yeah. It fell off.
No, like
No,
Finley.
watch.
What?
Where do you think the 777's gonna go?
I don't know. I barely play that tank, so
Okay, you're
it's
both.
okay.
You're both awful. It's gonna go in super strong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll put it there.
Yeah, it
Feels
will
super
go.
strong when
I
It's
I
between-
know like I know the opinions of the public when it comes to certain tanks, and like the 777 is just one of the most obvious. This is a super
Yeah,
strong tank.
I need to get into the heads of the public instead of my own opinion.
I'm
I need
not
to think
voting. I
about,
haven't
like-
fought it in a while.
I need to think about like how strong it is depending on when I'm playing it instead of when I'm fighting it.
Yeah, I mean, whenever you're fighting a tank, it's gonna be a different story. But
Yeah.
I mean, you can fight the best tank in the game, and it can still be a moron behind the wheel. The TVP, I think, is the best example of that. The TVP is, in my opinion, an overpowered tank, but most players are so bad at the game they can't understand how to play it.
I mean, it's the
And
same with
183.
Yeah.
all you need to do is just drive in front of one of your tank destroyers, bait an E50M, and then they're gonna hold W and get nuked.
Now this one better not make it past good. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, 260. I'm just putting two options. It's good and super strong because it won't make it in the workable. I know that. People won't put it in workable. And it's not going to go into OP. So basically it means that it's either going to be voted for good or super strong. Those are really going to be the two choices that people are going to vote on. And
24%. Oh my gosh.
777 is kind of strong, but I suck all the time with it. I mean, it's basically just a side scraping Soviet tank. That's all it is. It's an IS-4 that's better in every way, really.
Yeah. 81% rigged.
What do you mean rigged? It was obviously going to go into good. I don't think it's a bad tank. It has mobility.
Yeah.
What, you think it should be in super strong?
Not really.
Well, then why are you...
It's like in between.
No, it's good. At best.
That's what you should have
What?
done.
What do you mean what? The tank's mid as hell. Name one advantage the 260 has over the E6. One.
Oh, E6
It's
then,
one.
yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I was comparing it to IS-7.
IS-7?
IS-7's
I'd still rather use an IS-7 any day of the week, honestly.
I use an IS-7 because it can actually survive.
And the IS-7 is tungsten.
Yeah.
It's got,
I mean, I'll put it slightly lower than IS-7, but yeah.
and the IS-7's decently mobile, even though they nerf the mobility like completely.
Yeah. Alright. Side armor? Honestly, the 260 doesn't even have side armor. You can pen that thing at like an 80-degree angle in the track wheel.
What sidearm?
Yeah, I mean, it's better, I guess, than the E6 side armor, but, like, you don't use the E6 for the side armor, so it's not, like, a thing that even comes into question with me. 263. This one will be interesting. I know Rob said he hates the 263. I don't know what Cora thinks if he's still watching the stream. I think, I'm not going to say where I'd put it, but I'm not going to sway people's opinions because I'm interested to see where it's going to go. But I
know it.
I don't remember where I put it in my tier. Let me see while you guys are voting. Let me see where I put it in my tier list.
Oh, this one's controversial.
It will be
Kind of.
controversial because it's an incredibly hard tank to play. Okay. So I see where I put mine, and I agree where I put it there. This tier list doesn't have that category.
You agree with yourself? No way.
Yeah, but sometimes I change my opinion.
Yeah, but like, that's not even an old tier list.
Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago.
Wow, yeah, so many balance changes happened 2 weeks ago. Like,
Yeah, you know what?
the
You know what?
changes.
You like men.
Yeah, I do.
Yep.
But I also like women,
Boom.
so I'm not that gay.
Yeah, women.
Kill yourself.
Well, come on.
263 is, it's honestly like the 263 that where people have voted is pretty similar to what I would have done, because my tier list, I put the 263 in strong, which is literally what you guys have voted for. You've done super and good. And what I should have done is I should have put a strong category, and then if it was close on super and good, I would have put it into the strong category. But it doesn't matter at this point. We're too far in. We're balls deep. All right, we'll put it into good. I agree with that. I don't think in this tier list it deserves to be super strong, but it's definitely a capable tank. If there was a strong category, I would have put the 263 into strong. I think it's actually a very, very good tank, and people underrate it. 268.
Yeah, this one's pretty.
268.
Okay, well, someone's
268's an interesting one. What? 260 used to be OP, but now in face hugs, anyone can pen that line above your engine. Yeah, but I think you could always do that, honestly, Cora. You could previously pen the engine deck. OP super work and
You okay, Ren?
friends having an aneurysm. Yeah, I would have. I think where the 263 is fine.
I'm dying.
I am interested to see though the 268 because let me see where I probably put the 268 in strong. I did. Oh no, wow! I put the 268 in super strong. You know what? I stand by that. I haven't played the 268 in a very long time, like a very long time, because it's just it's kind of an average tank that does well at everything. You know, it's just like the IS-7. It's the IS-7 of tank destroyers. So like it does great,
Yeah,
but it's just meh for me. So it's kind of what I'll say about the tank. 680 alpha? I thought it was 690. Is it 680?
It's 690.
It is 690, right?
Yeah, it's 690.
Pretty sure the E3 is 680. Yeah, the E3 is 680. Pretty sure the E3 is 680.
The 268 is really
Imagine
low.
not knowing your stats. Burp.
That was my response.
That line didn't exist before. The old meta tournament teams used 263 to counter mouse since it... Let me see. I thought there was... I remember there was a weak spot, though. Blitz Hanger has not updated the 263 to PVR, which means that if we look at the 263 on Blitz Hanger, we can actually see what the armor looked like previously.
I mean, the 263's lower plate was way smaller before it got PVR.
Where do I...
Yeah.
Is it here? Oh, there it is. Nah, see, Core, I think it was still always a weak spot. This only here's this is only 265 thick. I think this was always a weak spot, to be honest. It's just that you shot at the engine deck because it was only 68 mils thick. 68 times 3. No, you won't overmatch that. No. I think I still shot this core. I think this was always a weak spot. This is only 265, and this is way before got PBR. The last time Blitzkit is updated, or Blitzhanger updated, was 10.4. We're in 11.7 right now. So, I think it's always had that weak spot. I just don't think that it's been shot at as much. But I'm pretty sure it has.
It's because people forget what Pramo is in pubs. But it's always been a weak.
Alright.
Nah.
Let me end this poll. Boom. So let's see what we got here. 268, super strong. Yeah, not a shocker. Okay. Ooh. 268 version 4. I think this one's going to have some friction.
This one's going to be controversial.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, I can tell you wholeheartedly my opinion on it, because I've played it 100 games over the past month, so.
I know where I put it as well, actually.
In your butt.
Wow.
I know, I'm so funny.
Suck my balls, mate.
What?
Suck my balls.
You poobler. Oh, and off to the races. Can you gamble some of your gold? Actually, I can't, because it's a press account. I'm not allowed to.
This is not as controversial as we thought.
I agree with that, honestly. It's not a super strong tank. I would probably put it in the strong category, which is probably where I put it in my... Let's see. Where did I put it in my tier list here? Yep, it's in strong in my tier list, and that's where I would still put it. So, at the end of the day, even if I did make that 2 weeks ago, I don't remember where I put 90% of the tanks. So, it wouldn't be uncharacteristic for me to like put a tank in a different category just because I don't remember.
Memory of a goldfish.
No, that's Finley.
What?
I agree. Hello, Rune.
Look at these bozlers.
All right. Boop. Are you a CC now? No. Wargaming will like never make me a CC.
Himself over the Burj Khalifa before getting CC.
I'll become CC when I think Reforged comes out, because if it sucks, I'll be the only content creator left.
Reforged is either going to be really great or really bad. No in between.
I just always find it funny how, like, you know, people like Amunet and M90, like, actively try to dislike me. But, like, I'm actively the only person carrying this game right now. Like, I'm pretty sure if I stopped posting content, this game would legitimately die. Like, at least on, like, yes, there would still be people playing it, but in terms of content creation, it would be dead. You would not see people posting videos on this game. There would be no new reviews. Like, that's as simple as it is. And, you know, there's always people that are like, you know, somebody will fill those boots. Really? You think that, like, N90 and Amunet are gonna be posting daily videos on every single tank in the game every single time Wargaming decides to rebalance every single goddamn one? Nah, not happening.
No, I feel like some of them might dislike you because of the controversy that happened like last year.
Nah, Amunet hated me before that.
Yeah,
Amunet hated
but-
me literally since the dawn of time.
Yeah, I guess.
She got mad at me that I said Wargaming has Alexandra on her live streams because she's, you know, a poster girl. And like it's not an argument. Like Like, it's a fact. Like, obviously Alexandra's great at her job. Nobody's gonna like say that like Alexandra's doesn't do a good job at what she does. She does. But nobody can deny the fact that the reason she was probably put on live streams over a 400-pound dev is because people want to look at a woman, not a 400-pound dev. We're blitz gamers. We're literally gooners.
PR, I think if you're head of PR, if I was head of PR, I'd put myself on the live stream.
Would you though? Would you want people to like see you every single second?
I mean, if I was head of PR, then sure.
But I don't
No.
think she started as head of PR as well. Like, she probably worked her way up there. But it's not even her. There's also on the other streams too. They always have a woman on the Russian speaking streams as well. They have is it Tolian or one of the other? It's common sense, right? I do the same thing. Why do you think car calendars, when they have like car meet photos, have sexy women on the car hoods? It's not hard to understand. Saying that it's sexist that men are attracted to women is the most retarded thing I've ever heard. Like, there's a reason why OnlyFans models make hundreds of millions of dollars a year are women and not dudes with hairy ball sacks. I'm sorry. It's just a fact. Like, how much money does Amaranth make a year on OnlyFans? 36? No, she makes 36 million a month on OnlyFans. She doesn't even show her anything. I'd like to see a single dude get away with that. It's just a fact. There's a reason why newscasters are usually women. Like, it's just stupid. But that's like the
Okay,
first thing she ever
actually-
tried hating on me for.
Okay, back to the World of Tanks Blitz tier list and not porn. Thank you.
Bro, it's not letting me end the poll. Let me read. Oh, there you go. It ended. And by the way, I'm pretty sure N90 didn't like me before that either. So,
I
good.
don't think so.
I had spoken to him beforehand. They just don't like me because they don't like that I post my opinions and don't hold back, right? Like, N90 really started going at me when Reforged. I don't know if you watched my video, but I talked a little bit about it at the beginning.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, like N90 got mad that I quote unquote spread misinformation about Reforged, even though I was told by certain people at Wargaming that it wasn't misinformation. And if, as I said, if he wants to argue with me on this, I will gladly go into a private VC and show him the receipts. He has been flown down the Wargaming headquarters, knew about Reforged, as so did Amunet, months in advance, and didn't do a single goddamn thing about it. And sure, like, you could say, oh, they're just a single peg in the machine, right? What are they gonna do? Well, remember when Bushka knew about the Sheridan missile? He said, I quit, I'm not posting videos on this game. And honestly, that may have killed the comp scene, right? When you have your content creators, who you already don't have many of, and they all say, yeah, this is a terrible idea, and, you know, Wargaming might actually listen. But if you're just a complacent poob, and you ignore, you know, the calling signs, yeah, it's like, personally, like, Ren, if you were told, pretend you were flown down the Wargaming headquarters, you know, a year ago, when they were, you know, getting these things set up, and they said, okay, we're going to add sets into the game, we're going to remove tech trees, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Would you just sit there and be like, oh yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, no, I've got no problems with that. Like,
I would have said my opinion. I would have said that I would full bullshit. I wouldn't have worded it like, but I would have said that I don't agree with the
I would have
changes.
said that like, if they put me in the room, I would have said, and I quote, I think these changes are a very big mistake, and if you go through with these, the community is not going to like them. That's what I would say. And
I would
then
have
at least,
suggested
yeah, and I'd say something along the lines of, this will not go well, you should not do this. And then I'd be like, instead of doing these terrible changes, you should just, you know, make the graphics better, balance the tanks out, which are overpowered right now, which is all the community wants: better graphics, better map design, and better balance. We don't want commanders. Like, obviously these CCs were told about commanders, and
Duncan Dodo.
And I know this as well because there was actually a comment from Frostbite, who's one of like the wargaming mods, and he said that he knew that this information was going to be big. Like he said he was waiting for this storm months in advance. He posted that in the official Discord. So like they literally knew about all of this stuff months in advance. Didn't do a single thing about it. And like even if they weren't allowed to say anything, obviously they're not allowed to say anything because it's under NDA, but they could say things to wargaming and they could share their opinion. But instead, Amunet and N90 just kind of sat there, didn't say anything, and just posted content on the commanders. If you disagree with what Wargaming's doing, open your freaking mouth, stop being a Wargaming sucker. That's as simple as it is. I have a hard time respecting people that can't make their own opinions.
I mean, if they liked it, then they liked it.
There's no way they
But-
liked it. Who in their right minds would like it? Even Wargaming admitted that they didn't like it. Like, I spoke to the lead dev, and he said, yeah, looking back, this was terrible. That's what he told me. Like, even the lead dev of Reforged said, we went too far. We agree that what we did was not good and for the best interest of the game. Like, and they've already removed steel. They're reworking the sets. These are things that should have been talked about on day one. And at the end of the day, I do put some of the blame on the people who were flown down there who didn't say anything, probably, thought, oh, whatever. I'm in a super secret chat with Wargaming. I don't want to ruin these relations. That's probably what it was. Because you'll notice Bushka hasn't really posted any videos lately. I wonder if Wargaming even flew Bushka down there because of his reaction to the Sheridan missile. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't fly him down there, to be honest.
Yeah, to be honest, when they had their missiles around, I wasn't there, but I did see a clip that I think Crazy Cats posted, and that was one of the few times where I've seen Bushka like actually swear out of anger.
I remember watching it when the Sheridan missile came out because I was probably even more anti-Sheridan missile than Bushka. Like I legitimately I got into a massive argument with Fatness because he was using the Sheridan missile and I was recording a video and I just started going after him in the video because he was just slinging missiles over the ridgeline into my tank and I was so freaking pissed because I was like, what the hell am I supposed to do to counter this? I was the biggest advocate. I like to believe that I was one of the major reasons that the missiles got removed from the game.
Similar to how I'm like the biggest anti-Grille 15 advocate.
If you think about it, the game took a massive player loss because they kept their opinion. Yeah, exactly. Right? At the end of the day, Wargaming brought those CCs and people down there so that they could probably get opinions. If you're given the opportunity to have information in advance, you should let them know your opinions. And I get it. You want to be friends with Wargaming. That's fine. But at the end of the day, you have nobody to blame but yourselves when Reforged comes out. Well, actually, it already, like, Reforged version 1 already came out and was already a disaster. And that's why they didn't bash on it, because they already knew they were complacent in the information ahead of time. So, that's as simple as it is, right? It's just, yeah. Reforged sucked. Canavro, who's a CC, agrees. Flossie, everybody agrees. I literally had a poll, and I think it was 80% of the people in that poll said they will quit the game if the first version of Reforged was released as the main thing. Like, that's how bad it was. Every single content creator, every single person that was part of the Wargaming team should have spoken up and said, this needs to go. Thankfully, the public was loud enough. But the question is, will the public be loud enough the second time? Or will they just stop playing the game? We already saw a massive dip in players the first time, right? So will the second time around, will we lose just more players because they're like, oh, Wargaming's not listening. I'm not going to bother arguing. I'm just going to quit. That's what's going to happen, right? Wargaming only has so many chances to make this right.
Yeah, the game got review bombed on Steam when the first version of Reforged dropped.
I can't imagine that the more that Wargaming works on this and the more revisions they make, the less people are going to care. That's the problem. So they shouldn't have done this to begin with, right? Like, You know, and some people might say like, "Oh, you're just saying that. You wouldn't actually, tell Wargaming what they're doing wrong." I literally messaged, and I can pull up the message. I literally messaged the CC manager the other day, and this is what I sent him. I said, "I know you don't make the calls when it comes to the marketing department, but I feel releasing the Type 5 Heavy as a collector is a poor decision. A lot of the community are already on edge about Reforged, and with the little content coming into the game, this would be a fantastic line to add and bring players back. If Wargaming is looking to make money on a tank release, I would recommend adding the 279E, as it's already a premium on PC and won't have anyone getting mad. Just thought I would share my view." And then I showed some comments of people absolutely dunking on Wargaming for the Type 5. Like, I make sure to speak my mind when it comes to Reforged and the future of this game.
I think we've gone a bit off topic. Let's go back to the tier list.
Penis.
Yes, I like that. Wait, what?
What?
Nothing?
Alright. Let's see. OP, super strong, good, and workable. So the 4202 and Vickers Light, which we didn't talk too much about, got ranked into the good category. The 4202 was close to super strong, which honestly surprised me. I like the 4202. I'd probably put it in strong. I don't know where I put it. Oh, I put it in
This
super
is gonna be
strong.
controversial.
I like the 4202 a lot, honestly. So I don't disagree with people putting it towards the good to strong category. I think it's a very, very good vehicle. Vickers Light, I honestly have no clue where I put the Vickers Light. I'm not gonna guess. I put it in strong. And what did you guys rank for the Vickers Light? It was good, but it was not a lot of people put it in super strong as well. So it was just good for the Vickers Light. I think that's reasonable. For most players, it's not a great tank because it's a Hesh firing vehicle. It doesn't have great Heshpen either. It's only like 180 mils. So I do agree with that. I think that it's a tricky tank to play. The Mythbusters on Unreal Engine 5 will be insane. Yeah.
Yeah.
Too bad you'll have like 2 viewers because everybody will be quitting the game.
Hey, Drew, do you wanna play Helldivers after this video?
Maybe. I have to do some recording as well.
Oh, okay. I'll play Minecraft while you're recording then.
2 and 5 begot super strong. I agree with that.
Understandable.
No complaints there. The 2 and 5B is indeed a super strong tank.
It's base.
I'm pissed Wargaming is making a Type 5 a collector. Yeah. I will always speak my mind the way it is, because at the end of the day, I care about the future of this game, right? That's why Ren and I get so pissed when Wargaming makes stupid mistakes, because at the end of the day, we care.
About anger issues. We're not the same.
Yeah. But I've heard you rant about Wargaming devs.
I stand by what I said about Wargaming devs.
Yeah, exactly. Like, at the end of the day, the other CCs, they can disagree with what I say because, I'm out of pocket, but at the end of the day, I'm saying what the community thinks when it comes to Reforged. And that's as simple as it is, right? One person can't rally an entire group of people to hate on Reforged, right? Obviously, I had a lot of viewers. I had like 50,000 viewers on certain of my videos and stuff, but most of the people in the World of Tanks Discord probably don't watch me that much to begin with. And it was, even the official video had like 250,000 views and had a huge amount of dislikes. Like, it was a very, very clear, cut and dry thing. So, Super Conqueror. This tank deserves to be an OP. I'm going to be honest. The Super Conch better make it to the OP category. It looks like it will be, though. 58% of people are voting for the Super Conch to be an OP so far. And I fully agree. Tiger Mouse armor is nothing to mess with. Yes, don't you know the Tiger Mouse is amazing, right, Ren?
I don't want my penis to be burned off with an iron rod by
Okay.
wargaming devs, so I will not say anything.
Well, I think it's very clear that the vast majority of people are putting the Super Conqueror into the overpowered category. I don't think we need more people to pull that one. I agree. I agree with that one. Not too many tanks in OP, but the ones that are there, I do agree with. Uh-oh, Ren.
What do you mean, uh-oh?
Uh-oh.
What do you mean, uh-oh?
Uh-oh.
What do you mean, uh-oh?
It's your favorite tank.
Oh, yeah, my favorite tank. It's
Uh-huh.
still like it a lot.
What do you
But
mean you still like it a lot? I thought it was like your
I don't know if
favorite
it's my
tank. You were
favorite right
literally like
now.
nutting over the vehicle like a month ago.
Yeah, but then I
Yeah.
put the 215B, and then I didn't play
The
any other
205B
tanks.
is not as good as the Chieftain Mark 6, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I had fun playing it.
Yes! Yes! Vote for the Chieftain! 75% of people putting it in super strong. I'm surprised.
Sorry. I shouldn't have cursed, my bad.
That's it. Banned.
Less than 20% are putting it in OP. All of you suck. You're all
It's
bad
not
at
an
the
OP
game, and I hate
tank, but it is a super strong tank. I fully agree. I think both the 205B and Chieftain are direct competitors of each other. If you told me I could only have one of them, I'd choose the Chieftain any day.
Chieftain.
Yeah, that's as simple as it is. Oh,
The
this one's
Chieftain,
going to
I
be an
think I have
interesting
the
one.
The Chieftain, I have the most 7K games in it. Like, in my career. I think I have, like, 6, 7 of them.
Nice. This
Which
one's
is,
going to
like,
be interesting. It's
way
the
more than my...
4005. I don't know where the 4005 would go from you guys. I mean, I think the 4005, well, the problem is it is a workable tank. Like, by definition, the 4005 is a workable tank. But it's also an OP tank by definition, which means that I think we're going to see a much larger contrast in the OP to workable tab than we are super strong and good. But I could be wrong.
Hang on. Let me check something. I think we
34%. Wow, this is a very even, this is the most even polling we've had yet. 62 votes, 30%, 30%, 30%.
Helldivers 2 Companion. Hang on.
4005
I need
is
to
team
check.
dependence. Well, the overpowered doesn't mean that a tank is team dependent, okay? Overpowered
Oh.
means that a vehicle has a broken mechanic which allows you to do things that you shouldn't be able to do. That's what the definition of overpowered is. So,
Oh, no. Druids.
what? Are you going to tell me something that has to do with Helldivers and not Blitz?
Yeah.
Am I going to touch
It's
you?
to do with Helldivers.
Brr.
The new major order is amazing.
Alright, I will take a
We
look after the stream, you poob.
Okay. We have to kill 1.25
37%.
billion squids.
So, 4005, I'm surprised. I honestly thought the 4005 was going to be more in the, I would have put it more in the OP category.
Yeah.
But,
I think
I get it. I get it. I will agree the 4005. At least you guys put it better than the Vafentrager. That's all I'll say. 183. Oh boy. Here it goes. Oh boy. This is by far the most controversial tank opinion, probably in the whole stream. Here we go. I'm going to guess that the 183 is going to make it into the maybe the good category. OP, 50% of people are... Oh, there it goes down. Oh, it's back up. Oh no. This one is controversial.
What's controversial? Hang on, let me see.
The 183, 30, the highest vote so far is an OP.
This is so controversial.
It actually might make it into the OP category. Oh my god, I think it's gonna make it into the OP category.
We need to throw your fan base in jail right now.
Where did I put the 183? Let me see. I put the 183 in. It's not an OP in my tier list. It's not. Okay, well if it's not an OP, it's not in super strong. It's in strong. Okay, I put it in strong on my tier list. Which is, I think that's as far as I'd be willing to go, but...
I put it in strong.
It's going OP. It's 10% higher for OP than the other two. There you go.
What is wrong with you guys?
Oh my god. Okay, well that one's the first the first interesting take. That's great. That's truly amazing. Uh-oh, Swetch Man, it's your favorite tank. That Baja, moit. Alright. Okay. Wait for the nerf. I hope they nerf the 183. I hope they nerf that thing to the freaking ground. Alright. Start poll.
Yeah, badges, like, I'm not gonna say it.
I think it's gonna go in the super strong, but it could be also good.
No, I put the wrong thing. I'm such a moron.
Russian, now okay. What did you send me, Red? What am I looking
I sent you. It's a mod for Helldivers.
That's just diabolical.
Is it the thick divers?
Invading our neighbors with this one.
So, the Badger is very close. I think it's gonna make it into good. Oh, now it's up in super though. Ooh, it's 37% and 37% right now between super and good. I think the Badger would be strong. I think it's in between super and good. But again, we don't have a strong category here, so it's whether you guys think it's one or the other. Anyone remember how OP the Badger used to be? It used to be OP. It used to be incredibly overpowered, but then they nerfed its traverse speed, and it hurt it a lot. That's what I'll say. It looks like it might be going into the favor of good there. Oh, no, it's back. Oh. It's tied again. Oh my god. Bro, somebody make a pick. Somebody break it. Whatever the next number is, I'm ending the poll on. Boom. It goes in the super strong. I'm not that surprised that it made it in the super strong, because it is still a pretty brain dead vehicle. But yeah. I thought it would have gone in the good, honestly. I thought that you guys would have gone for good.
Yeah, the Badger's strong, but it's not super strong, but it's not like as bad.
Evidently it is super strong. But because of the fact that it was so even, it goes into strong, which is, I'm pretty sure, where I put it on my tier list. Yeah, I did.
It's got DPM, but like it fell off after they buffed Cali, which was a stupid idea.
Alright, STB1. STB1, I still believe shouldn't... Where did I put my STB? I put the STB, okay. So we'll see where you guys put the STB. It better make it into one of those two, though.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see the public perception of the vehicle after Wargaming nerfed it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Oh. Interesting. Super Strong is in the lead right now. A lot of people voted for OP, and then it sort of evened out to Super. But it's back and forth. It's very back and forth. Do a poll for viewers' win rates? Yeah, honestly, we can do that. That'd be an interesting one. What are you laughing at?
Nothing.
Nothing. All right, well, when we get to 100 votes, guys, I'll end it off. We got 18 more votes to go. My haters voted for Badger. Do you like the Badger or do you not like it, Swetchman? I don't remember. I think you said you hated the Badger. I don't remember. Okay, it's going into Super Strong, which I agree with. I do not think the STB is an OP tank anymore. I think that it's actually kind of balanced in a way because, well, it's balanced when you compare it to the E50M, the M48 Patton, and these other overpowered tanks, but it's still, you know, a really, really strong vehicle when you compare it to a lot of the other mediums. But because it has low DPM, I actually think it's in a decent state right now. I think that it should just have a little bit less turret armor. That's what I do, and buff its accuracy maybe by like 5%. All right. Next up, we have the Type 71. Type 71.
Okay, yeah,
OP.
if these guys make the wrong choice, everybody here should be thrown in jail.
For what? The Type?
Yeah, if they put it in the wrong tier, everyone's
Well,
going to jail.
what's the wrong
including
tier?
Hang on. I'll DM you and I'll see if you agree.
Gotta stretch. I hate it so much because literally everyone pins me in the front, even under angles, just like gold shells, and it's totally gray. As I told Flossie, if you run enhanced armor on the Badger, it does actually get a decent amount of bounces. And I like the gun on the tank. Like, if you can get that thing hauled down and you can get that gun working, the Badger still farms. Still one of the highest performing tier 10s, which is surprising, but it really is. If you go to top performing vehicles, maybe we don't want to look by 55 to 60 percenters. Maybe 45%. Yeah, there it is. Like low level players, the Badger is still a very high performer, as you can see, and it's simply because of the fact it just kind of does a lot of stuff. Okay. Well, don't worry, Ren, because it made it into Super Strong.
Good.
It
I'll
deserves
call
to
it
be
a
super strong. I don't know where I put mine.
Yeah.
I put mine into OP because of the ridiculous levels of premium pen it has. But I can understand super strong. I think that's a fair assessment. All right. Hori. Armor on 71 used to be OP. It honestly still kind of is OP. And it will be when they do Reforged because they're adding Kai and they're doing a bunch of things for the armor.
When it was still in the past, and the lower plate wasn't pennable at all, and I was really scared for my life.
It's still a really cringe lower plate. That thing is nasty. It's because of the angle.
Yeah, it's such a pain in the ass to pen. And it's like half the time if you shoot the track wheel, it just doesn't pen anyway. It's really annoying.
Yeah. I'll do a win rate poll at the end of the stream, guys. We need a nah category. Well, really, nobody's really voted a tank in a category that's bad. I mean, workable's the worst category, but even then, like, nobody's put a tank in a category that's, like, tragic. This is why, you know, I remember when Martimator used to be like, you can't say every tank's good. Well, here you go. Every single... You guys are voting. And this is what the public thinks, right? Most of the tanks deserve to be in Super Strong. There's much more tanks in Super Strong than good. And there's not a single tank really workable apart from the Vafentrager. And it shows that right now, most tanks individually are pretty good. The problem is that they're all good. So it just puts the game in a state where everything kills each other too quickly. All right. I agree with the decision of the Hori. I full-heartedly agree with that. This is by far the most voted tank in the OP category yet, Ren. 70% of people think the Hori's OP.
Understandable, actually.
I don't disagree. That tank is an absolute cringler. What a piece of just cringe.
It makes me want to die if I'm driving a heavy or anything
Yeah.
with armor.
It's so cringe. And it's not only that, it's just the fact that they hit every snapshot. They just turn and shoot.
Yeah.
WZ1321. All right. This one will be an interesting one as well, because the 132 one is a vehicle that it deserves to be in a certain category, but I'm interested to see if you guys agree with that, or if you think it's too challenging to be ranked there. This one will be a big test of player skill. Cleavage Gaming? What am I reading? Let's see.
That's great.
Indeed, it looks like most people are voting for the WZ132 one to be in the good category. See, I don't agree with that. I think that the 132 one is a super strong tank. This is like the first one that I think the skill gap does make a difference on, because like skilled players will do fantastic in the 132 one. I don't know if I've played really any games on this account in it. I've only played 5 games, but I don't know. What do you think of the 132 one, Ren?
I don't have it, but it looks really
well, you're
good.
bad.
It's because I'm way too impulsive. Like, I used to keep selling things, and I just keep buying things back and doing the same shit because I'm stupid. Don't rely on me for anything with brain cells.
Well, the 132 one is going into the good category. I think that here's what I'll say. If you're basing this tier list off of a tank's capabilities and not the player's skill level driving it, the 132 one is super strong. If you're a good player, it's here. If you're not a good player, it's here. And that's exactly where I put it. So, makes sense. Ooh, this is going to be an interesting one. This is going to be a controversial one. Because the 121 is a tank that Peter hates for some reason. And I love. Alright, and I think the 121 is going to go into the... Ooh, I don't know. It's either going to be good or super strong.
Yeah, super strong or good, I'd say. Cause
I think it deserves super strong, and it looks like most people are agreeing. 67%. Yeah, you know, everybody obviously has their own opinions, right? I mean, the 132 one being in good is a difference of opinion. But I think that the take that Peter has on the 121 being a rather mediocre medium, at least in my eyes, doesn't hold up. Just because of the fact it has 420 alpha, it has tungsten, it has super good DPM, it has adrenaline, or reactive if you need it, it has really good armor, and it's got really good mobility. I think the 121 is an absolute bop. So I fully agree with you guys on this one. We don't need to pull this one any longer. It's a huge portion of people voting for super strong. I agree. Gaming time is so good. Yeah, it's great. You're gambling with World Blitz War 3. All right, we're almost done with this tier list. 121B. Ren, where do you think the 121B deserves to go? Never mind. I'll just keep going. What the ball? What? You guys are retarded.
Maybe.
He doesn't like the on the move and the speed is too slow. I mean, the 121's not slow though. Blitzhanger. I guess I'd have to go here. Tankopedia. China. 121. Alright. I'm going to do this. What are you up to, Rune?
I decided to play some Blitz.
Oh, no.
Doing room things.
Yeah, the 121's pretty good. It's got a power to weight that's ranked 6 out of 20 in the mediums, which means that it's better than 14 other mediums in its power to weight. I don't
The
know.
121B?
Just the 121.
Oh. What are the categories? Let me open stream.
The 121 made it into super strong, and now we're on the 121B, which is also going to make it into super strong. I'm actually pleasantly delighted with the
Yeah,
opinions.
I agree with both of those.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised. I expected that this tier list was going to give me brain cancer. I'm not going to lie. I really expected I was going to do this stream. People were going to make the worst opinions I'd ever seen in my life, and I was going to jump out of the window. But I actually have to say, believe it or not, I think you guys have done a surprisingly good job on this tier list, right? Like, obviously there are certain things I would disagree with. I would move certain tanks a little bit up, a little bit down, but there's no single tank that I think is in a category, apart from the 4005, which I put in the OP just because of the clip, but there's no single tank that I actually think is like fully out of its realm that you guys have ranked. Just shows that like other content creators don't know their audience. All right, let's see. What's next? Ooh, BZ75. Obviously with the Hesh gun. We're not if you're running the 130 on the BZ, you should like stub your toe. Like there's no point of driving a Hesh firing vehicle and then not running the Hesh gun. So, we're ranking this based off of the Hesh gun. I'm pretty confident I know where this one's going to list. So, we'll see. But I'm pretty confident. .183. Oh, yeah, that's right. The 183. I forgot about that one. The 183 and OP. That's hilarious. The only thing I don't like is that it should be a strong category. Well, as I said, unfortunately, YouTube doesn't allow me to do polls with more than 4. So I can't do a strong category. It's not possible. Wow. That is surprising. That is very surprising. Rune, where would you think people would vote the BZ75 with the Hesh gun?
I feel like most people, well, you said there's not a strong, it's just super strong and then workable.
It's super
OP.
strong, good, workable, and OP.
I feel like people would put it in good.
That's what I would have thought. And yet, right now, 46% of people are saying super strong. That is very surprising. I mean, it's in between. It's 44% super, 42% good. So it's very clear that people think it's kind of in between those two. In my tier list, I have the BZ75 in. Or do I have the BZ75 in my tier list? I must have put it in strong in mine. I did. Okay. Which is exactly where you guys are kind of in between here. I'm going to put it in. I'm going to end the poll and we'll see what it tells me. What is more votes? It's even. Bro, Naruto, you are getting a timeout for 5 minutes. I'm going to put it in... Damn. I'll put it in super. You know what? I'll put it in super. Because you guys were fighting for super strong. So it's going to go there. It's going to go there. Alright. Again, I'll probably make a different category at some point. I should have done a strong category, and if they were close, I should have made it, but it's all right. 113.
Ooh.
I think the 113 is going to fall into the good category. OP, super good, workable. Just love how everybody's arguing in the comments on where it should be. Interesting. Always at the beginning, when I start the poll, there's like a huge amount of people that vote for super strong. And then like as the poll goes on, it like slowly goes down. But I will be interested to see where the 113 goes. Once again, I'm pretty sure I put the 113 in strong. I did. Yes. What maybe we can do is we can go back through all the polls, and the close ones we can put in the strong category. I think
no
that's
way I'm seeing a 113 is bad.
8% of people think that it's workable. Wow, I'm actually very surprised. 46% of people think it's super strong. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think the 113 is a good tank. It's got really, really good DPM. It's got stupid good pen, but it is heavily limited by the armor. It's heavily limited by its gun depression. I probably would have put it in good versus super strong with the two options given. Well, there you go. It's in super strong. That's what it was voted. Can't argue with me. That's the best part about making this tier list. Nobody can call my opinions bad because they're not my opinions. All right. What's next? Oh. 116 F3. Oh, what a pile of trash. This tank does not deserve to go past good. It honestly doesn't even deserve good. I'm honestly doing two options. It's either good or workable. Those are the two options people get. Because I know it's not going to make it past any of that. So let's just see which of the two it makes. Oh. 90% of people have voted workable so far. Oh, it's going down. Yeah, I'm not very surprised there. Yeah. I think we're just gonna call it a day and put it in the workable category. Not very shocking. Let me see where I put mine. Probably, yeah, I put the ones literally, you know what's funny is the only tanks that I put in meh, which are basically workable, are the Vafentrager and the 116. And those are literally, so far, the only two tanks that have been put into the same category with you guys. That's actually kind of funny. I have no clue how N90 ranks the 116 as, like, a fairly easy tank to play. I bewildered, bro. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I didn't think I needed to make any additional categories there. Okay. Uh-oh, Rune. 114 SP2.
Just because I like it doesn't mean I think it's amazing.
I think it's gonna go in good. That's what my assumption will be.
If it does, then I'd agree with that.
Oh.
I don't think it's quite so bad to be in workable.
It's not like an awful tank. It's just not a great tank, you know? It's like an E100 where you strip the armor off of it. I do love the legendary camo, but it's honestly really bad. Well, this is probably the most I've seen voted for the good category so far. 62% of people have voted for good. I don't think we need to spend any longer on the 116. I'd like to know that one person though who voted for OP. Please speak up. I need this. Tell me who voted for OP, please. That's amazing. One person voted for OP. Uh-oh, the 5A. The 5A. OP. OP. I should just only have OP as an option. Alright, here we go. Exactly, an E1. It's an E100 with Chineseification. Yeah, it really is, isn't it? It's pretty funny when you think of it like that. The most voted so far is super strong for the 5A. Interesting. I'm not complaining, to be fair. You guys should put it in the OP category. I think that's where the 5A should go. Well, there's a lot of people that voted for the 5A as well. 80 votes already. Yes! Yes! 80 votes. The 5A is at. Super strong so far. Wow. Alright. You guys voted. I shall end it. Wow. 38% of people put the 5A into super strong. I am surprised. I think I put the 5A into... I did. I put the 5A in the strong. You guys are glazing the 5A more than me. It is a really fun tank, though, I will say. I always find it funny when people like try to diss on the 5A, even though it is a legitimately fun tank. So, I'm not complaining. I agree. Alright. I'm not going to put a workable one on this one because there's no point. This one's going to have, honestly, we're just going to have super strong and OP as the two categories. I don't think anybody's going to vote anything less than these two. I mean, yes, obviously there's people that are bad at the game and would probably put this in, like, the good category, but this tank doesn't, it's not going to be decided on that. It's either going to be OP or super strong, so I'm interested to see. Hmm. 62% did not put it in super. That's not how it works, because it still had the highest percent in super strong, so it doesn't matter. Okay, I'm not very surprised at this one, to be honest. It is evening out a little bit, but it's still very clear that the 113 is the 113 GFT is a pretty OP tank. But the poll did even out. And I agree. I think that it's in between super and OP. It's like it's in between the two. But I think that it is still a pretty general like common sense thing that the 113 GFT is an overpowered tank and should not have as much armor as it does. There's really no point to drive the E3 when you can drive a 113 GFT. Alright, Bosch on 25 ton. This tank, I'm not going to have the workable category because there's no point. We're just going to do OP, super strong, and good. There's just no point to do a workable category for most of these tanks because obviously they're not going to go in the workable category, so it's just a waste of a vote. Alright, let's see. Bosch right now, I would assume is going to go into the super category because I do think in a really good player's hands it's OP, but I think in most players it's not going to be anything ridiculous. It's a little rat clipper. It is. It really is. But I am very happy to see that the majority of people are voting more for OP than they are for good. I agree. I think this tank is still utterly diabolical to go up against. I think it's one of the most dangerous tanks in tier 10. So I agree with this. Yeah, 88 votes, 50% put it in super strong, and I agree. It will go into the super strong category. Ooh, the Marat. The Marat. Alright, OP. Super strong. This one I will add workable, just because I think that there will be some people that put it there, and it will affect the overall polling percentages. Balshot was stupid OB before the view range was fixed. I agree. I'm glad they nerfed it. Good player in a Balshot can do so much damage. Yeah, it's a nasty tank. It's a nasty tank. Where did I put the Murat? I probably put it in the strong. I did. I put it in the strong. Okay. I think it, in my opinion, still deserves to stay strong. But judging from the polling here, it seems a lot of you are putting it in the good category. I'm happy that nobody's, at least, like, the majority of people aren't putting it into the workable. Like, it is still a decent tank. But, yeah, it's a tricky vehicle to drive. I think that most people will struggle in the vehicle. Alright, well, finish in the good category, so we're going to end it off there. But I'm glad to see that a lot of people agree that it is in the good to super. You know, the strong category seems to be a pretty similar vote as well for a lot of these tanks. So I'm glad to see that most of you agree with what I'm doing here. It's just too big. Honestly, the Murat isn't that big. I think a lot of people say it's big without actually, like, you're compensating. Like, look, like, this is the Murat. Look at the dimensions of the vehicle, okay? And now let's compare it to a Leopard 1. Like, it's not any bigger than a Leopard 1. The turret's longer, but, like, you know, E50M, that's a big tank. The Murat is not nearly as big as the E50. Even the Patton is quite a bit larger than the Murat, if you actually look at the size. Even a 62A, like, this is a 62, this is a Murat. Yes, it's larger, but it's not nearly as large as you'd think it is. Like, I don't know. It's not as big as you'd think. Alright. Well, the Murat did make it there. Okay, not too surprising. Next up, 30B.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
I said next up, not Alexa. Alright. Boom, 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 and there you go. Okay. Let's see how this one does. The only reason that size is an issue on the Murat is the side armor is weak, and also everyone wants a tier 10 Brask. Well, I guess they don't, because nobody grinds the Murat. I like the Murat a lot. I know Rune really likes it as well. I think it's a fun vehicle. It's just that, I don't know. I guess it's just people don't really do. I think people, the problem is they think they can get away with really aggressive plays, and it just doesn't work out that way for them.
I think the gun just feels a little. Sometimes it trolls you. And
Yeah,
just
it
one shot
does.
in that, with that
Its
tank is
accuracy can be a
sad.
little cringler. Well, I fully agree with the 30B going into the good category. I don't think it deserves to be anything higher. I don't think it deserves to be anything lower. I think that it is perfectly balanced in the positioning that it is. I smell a Republican.
Why are you in VC by yourself when everyone else is muted?
I'm streaming.
Oh.
Yeah.
I just...
I'm doing a live tier list where the viewers vote where the tanks go.
What tank are you on now?
The AMX 50B. Which I'm only going to give 2 options for it. I'm giving the options of OP and Super.
Is it like a cringe category? I think he's put it in?
Yeah, that one has your face on it, though. Aren't I so funny? You'll never guess where the 183 went, Lego. Oh, did he die? I think Lego died. $50B is the best tank I've ever played. I have 72% on it. It was better back when it had a hull armor. I don't agree with that. I think the 50B right now is incredibly dumb. It's super close. I just think the fact that it has reactive is ridiculous. It's so close. It's so close. Oh, it's swaying more into the OP category. I'm going to give it a little bit longer. I mean, my personal opinion, I think the 50B is overpowered. I think the fact that it has a 4-shell autoloader, 3000 DPM, and a clip which allows it to just do whatever the hell it wants, plus reactive, allows it to get away with a lot more than it should. Obviously, it's a skill-based tank, But I do think that it is a vehicle that would deserve to be in the OP category. I'm going to end the poll. We'll see where it goes. 1%. I'm putting in an OP. I'm using it's 1% higher, and if that's the case, I will sway it into the OP category. I also put it in. Yeah, I did put it in OP in my tier list, so I think we'll keep it there. Stopping at 99 is criminal. Well, I'd rather stop at 99 than have it on 50-50 and not be able to figure out where it goes. So 57 is better. It's different. It's different. The 57 Heavy was a pretty... I think the 57 was pretty close as well in its polling. Okay. So, what's next? The AMX M4. Okay. AMX M4. This one, again, I'm only going to leave 2 categories. It's going to be super strong and OP. And it's because, obviously, this tank is... It's one of those 2, really. That's what it is. So... I'm just going to let people pick on which of those 2 they think it's going to be. Gauging the chat. Anybody play on Switch here? Oh, God. Not the Switch. Not the Switch. Not too surprising. I agree with that. Where did I put the AMX M4? I put it into super strong. And I agree. I do think that it has moments where it's OP, but because the gun misses so much, it's a very annoying tank. So this one's a very clear super strong finisher. So we'll leave that one in super strong. That's a solid shout. We got the Foch. Foch 155. Super strong, OP, and we'll add good. I think it deserves better than good, personally, but I'll add it because I know there's going to be some people that vote good. On a day where the AMX M4's gun doesn't ream your butt, it's OP. But most of the time, it's frustrating. Yeah, I agree. Like, I do, yeah, that's like, honestly, basically what you guys voted for is it's super strong 67% of the time, and it's OP 32% of the time. And I agree with that. I think that's a pretty fair assessment. Now, the Foch, I have to agree with what you guys are saying so far. I do think the Foch is kind of OP. I'm pretty sure I put the Foch in OP in my tier list. Indeed, I did. It is in the OP category. I think, I don't know, it's close. Now it's in super, but I do think the Foch is kind of OP. The fact that it has 1,300 damage in a matter of, 3.75 seconds, and it has the mobility and the armor. It's kind of wild. So I think it's back and forth. I can understand people wanting it to be in super strong as well, though. Very close, though. It's very, very close. Seems like it might go in the favor of super strong, though. We're going to end it off at 100 votes, because I think that's the perfect even number. But there you go. Oh, it evened out. Oh, you know what? Whenever we have an even number like this, I think I'm allowed to put my own personal opinion in, right? Because if it's even, I haven't made a vote. You guys have all made a vote. So I'm allowed to put my vote in. And my vote for the Foch goes up here. So we're going to put it in OP. I think it is OP. All right. CS63. Uh-oh. It's Peter's favorite tank. I mean, at the end of the day, we can all agree that the Foch is between overpowered and super strong. So it doesn't really matter if it's in one or the other category. It basically says that either way, it's a really, really good tank, right? That's the only way you have to take it. So I agree. I think it's up in that category. OP, super strong. We have good and workable. I will add a workable because I know that there will be people that will vote for workable on this tank. All right. So this is Peter KeckW's favorite tank. He says it's better than the Leopard 1. I think it's good. That's where I'd put it. I'd put it in the good category. Let me see where I did put it. I'd put it in the strong category is where I would rank it. And that's probably where I did put it. I think my forehead's blocking it. Yeah, I did put it in the strong category. I haven't received my BZ176 yet. I'll have to talk to you in DMs. As I told you, the way it works is that I have to actually gift you the tank. Yeah, it's good. That's as simple as it is. We're gonna end it off there. That's clearly enough people voting in the good category. See, I do agree with Peter that it's a strong tank. Don't get me wrong, right? And obviously he titled this video, you know, it's better than the Leopard for, you know, clicks and whatever. But at the end of the day, it's just, it doesn't have really anything over the Leopard. I guess it has like troll turret armor, but it's not enough to give it an inherent advantage over other tanks. So I will still leave the CS. It's a better Leopard 1. In what way, right? This is what I always tell people. If you want to say the CS is a better Leopard 1, tell me one single stat where the CS is better than the Leopard, okay? So if you go to compare, right, and you add the Leopard 1 and the CS, right? Here's the Leopard 1. Then we add a tank, and we do the CS63. Then we choose their equipment. So we do Cali, Enhanced, Refined Gun, Improved Assembly, Toolbox, Engine Accelerator, Consumable Delivery System, apply to all. Okay, so this is the exact same equipment loadouts. The CS63, however, we're going to take off, which one's the small food? This one. So we're going to take off small food and we're going to put on improved gear oil. So there you go. That's the CS. So you have 300 less DPM. You have worse alpha. Yes, you do have tungsten, but we're not comparing that right now. We're just comparing base values, right? So it has worse alpha, worse DPM. It has worse shell velocity. Its on-movement dispersion, its hull traverse, its turret traverse, its shooting on move is all worse. The aiming time is only 4% better, which means that it's the same. The aiming times are the same, and look at how much better the on-move is, 30 to 40% better. So basically, the Leopard 1 gun itself is flat better in every single regard, okay? Gun depression doesn't really matter on these tanks. 7 degrees is still fine on the Leopard. The Leopard 1's top speed is 63. Oh, I forgot. This tank also gets gear oil. One sec. Let me take off a small, or I'll just take off this. That works. There you go. But, yeah. Has better... Look at this. Power to weight, everything. Even with taking off a large fuel, is still better on the Leopard. Its reverse speed is the same. Its top speed is faster. Basically the same hit points. View range is worse. Camo is worse. I'm sorry, but, like, the CS is not a better tank than the Leopard. CS has better armor. Does it, though? Like, does it actually have better armor? Let's take a look. Let's see this. Okay, this is the CS. All right, here's the armor. So, lower plate is 90 millimeters. The turret is 170, okay? There you go. That's the CS. 180 on the turret, 86 mils on the hull. Okay, upper plate's an auto ricochet. Now we take a look at the Leopard 1. I don't like how Blitzkit changed this. It's kind of looking weird now. Oh, this is weird. Okay. Alright, so here's the Leopard. So yeah, obviously the upper plate's worse, but like, it's still got a very troll turret if you hit these edges here. It's like, it is a weaker turret, and the lower plate is weaker, but it's not like, you're still going to get penned in the CS. It's not enough of an advantage to say, oh, the tank's better, right? At the end of the day, it's kind of just cope if you're saying the CS is a better tank. Like, that's the problem. Alright, here we go. TVP. We're going to do 3 for this one. It's going to be OP, super strong, and good. Honestly, I don't think I'm even going to have, like, the workable category as an option anymore. Because I don't think any of these tanks really go into the workable category. They're not going to. So I think at that point, we might as well just have people vote on these 3 options, because those are the only 3 that are actually going to matter. So let's see. Right now, the TVP is fighting between OP and Super. Where did I put it? Probably in the OP category. Super strong. Yeah, I think I did put it in the OP category. Yep, I did. Not very shocking, to be honest. The TVP I do consider to be a very cringe tank. Just need a bit of DPM because it's fighting mediums. I mean, honestly, the TVP has fine DPM. It's got like 2,700. You don't need more than that. It's still plenty, right? And you already have a clip loaded when you start in the game, so I don't really think it needs a DPM buff. I don't think it needs any buff. It's evening out. I'm gonna let it stay. See what happens. 45% to 40. It's very clear that people think the TVP is a very strong tank. I think at this point, though, we'll end it off because it's pretty clear that it's going to go into the super strong category. So we will put it into super strong. I don't disagree with that. I do think the TVP is pretty damn strong. So no problems with that. Oh yeah, Leo has adaptive concealment as well. But yeah, I do think the TVP in a good player's hands is OP. But again, most people that are probably voting on the stream are not, you know, the best of the best. So realistically, I think that's a fine position. Progetto, once again, OP, strong, and good. Because this is not a tank that deserves workable either. My name is McDonald's, bruh. What am I reading? What the heck am I reading? Still waiting for the win rate tier list. I told you once we get through these final vehicles, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to go. Strong. Okay. This is a very, very obvious. It's going into super strong. So, boop. I agree. I think the Progetto is super strong. I don't think I put it into OP. No, I didn't. I put it in the super strong. I fully agree with that one. The Lion, I know not many people have this one, so might be a little challenging for people to rank. This is another vehicle that Peter doesn't really like, and I always find that interesting because I really do like the Lion. I think the fact that it has tungsten as an auto reloader is absolutely diabolical. I think the mobility is good. I think the DPM is good. I think in general it's a very, very good tank. I have Lion. I likes it. I think it's a great vehicle. This is like a great example too of how everybody has different opinions, right? Like there are probably tanks Peter loves that I don't really like that much. And I think the CS63 is a good example of that. I like the CS, but it's not a vehicle I'm going to drool over, where I know he absolutely loves the vehicle. You know, but then, you know, everybody has their own opinions on what they like and what they don't. And these are the differences you're going to be running into. This one, it's very clear. It's going to be super strong once again. It's 20% higher voted for super strong. So I agree. I think that's a fair assessment. Caro. I'm not going to say anything, but I have a feeling I know where it's going to go. I'm only going to leave 2 options up for the Caro because I don't really think it needs 3. I think it's going to be between OP and strong. I want to get my hands on the line. I think it would be a blast to play, but I think it's OP if you get decent matchmaking. I think it's great. I think it's very, very good. Yeah, I find it crazy that like Martimator tried saying there's no reason to get the Caro because the Progetto exists. And don't get me wrong, the Progetto, it's a strong vehicle, but at the end of the day, it doesn't have 380 alpha and it doesn't have 4 frickin' shells. If you are up against an enemy medium in a line, or if you're up against an enemy medium in a Caro, let's say, for example, a CS, right? You shoot that CS once for 380, you back up. If you reload that clip, that final shell, you now have the ability to full health kill that CS. That is insanely overpowered. It's why it's a 50B, but a medium, and it has gear oil. It has so many different stupid things going for it. So I agree. I agree. Definitely deserves OP, 100%. Rinocerante. Start poll. Do I have merch? I do, but I don't remember how to find it. The Rhino, once again, we're going to have 2 options here. It's just going to be OP and strong, because I think if we can all agree here, I think that really the Rhino fits in between one of those 2 categories. I definitely think it goes more in the OP category at this point because of just how freaking stupid the tank is on a ridgeline. I mean, how many of you have gone up against a Rhino on a ridgeline and you just can't pen it? And in return, it just beams you back and back and back. I hate fighting the Rhino. When it was first released into the game, I thought, you know, this tank seems pretty balanced. And the more I got to play it, the more I realized that the tank is honestly kind of overpowered. Like, I think the Rhino needs a turret armor nerf. And because of that, I do think that the Rhino deserves to be in the OP category. And it seems like a lot of you agree. Yeah. I think that one was a pretty obvious one. The armor on Blitzkit's wrong. Blitzkit says the armor of the Rhino is only like 370 thick on the turret. It's not true. Flossie and I was using an E4, which has over 410 mils of heat pen with Kali, which I run Kali on. I could not pen it, right? So if you see here, it says like the turret armor is only 350, and then if you're loading like gold, it's 370. This is wrong. This turret armor is way stronger than what Blitzkit's saying. It's closer to like 420 mils while using gun depression. It is insanely ridiculous. It needs a nerf. So I fully agree. I think the Rhino deserves the OP slot. I will put it up there. It shows you just how dumb the auto reloaders are. Speaking of more dumb, you know, tanks, we've got the Kron, which yeah. I swear they buffed the turret armor. It used to pen easily with 360. I don't know. But, it's dumb. That's all I'll say. Its turret armor is dumb. Alright. VZ55. This one, again, I'm just going to leave two options. I think a lot of the autoloaders, we don't need more than two options. It's either OP or super strong. Those are the only two options we need, right? Because it's not... The VZ is not a good tank. It is better than good. That's a fact. So it's whether you guys think it's OP or super strong. Right now, it definitely seems like you guys are going for the super strong. I probably put it in the OP category. I did. But again, that's obviously just my opinion. Rhino over VZ. I think the VZ has different capabilities over the... I think the VZ has different capabilities over the Rhino, right? It has much better pen, it has better damage per minute, and it has better armor. So it has advantages over the Rhino. I do think the VZ is kind of OP. That's why I put it up there. So, but you guys have spoken. It's going to go into super strong. 66% of you think so. That's a very large portion, so I agree. 60 TP. Ooh, 60 TP. This is going to be an interesting one. 60 TP. We're going to do OP, strong, good. I think it'll go quite high. I don't think it's going to be in the OP. I'm going to guess it's going to finish off in strong, because that's kind of where I'd put it. But, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, yeah. 70%. I'm just gonna already put it in the super strong category. Pretty sure that's where I put it here too. Let's see. Yeah. It's very, very obviously a super strong tank. There are moments when it is OP, right? The 630 alpha, especially paired with tungsten, and the 7 degrees of gun depression are insane. But there are also moments when, because it has higher alpha and not the highest DPM, you're in a situation where you have to kill a low health tank, and then an autoloader rolls around the corner and goes bam, 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 bam. So it's a very, very good tank. I don't think it's necessarily OP, but I do think it's super strong. I fully agree with the votes there. Start poll. All right, 3 tanks. The Kron. I already know where this one's going to go. I already know where the Kron's gonna go. It better go where I want it to. I'm gonna put it in this category already. It better go into the OP. The Kron is an entirely overpowered tank. Let's see. Can we get 80% votes on OP? $69. 70. I mean, it's still a huge amount of people voting for OP. Kron would be the dumbest tank if they ever gave it back AP and actual pen. I mean, it already is the dumbest tank. It has enough pen to cut through turrets already, and it's just ridiculous. Also, it never had AP. I don't know what you mean by gave it back AP. I had this conversation with somebody else. It's never had AP. Maybe it was Flossie. It never, ever, ever had AP. Never since the start of it being brought into Blitz. But yeah, the Kron we're not gonna spend any more time on. It's very clearly an OP tank. All right, last two. We got Stridzvon K, which I will leave three options up for. Stridzvon K is going to have OP, good, and strong. It's obviously better than workable. It is a good tank by definition, but the question is how good. It's not going to be OP. Like, if there are going to be people that probably vote in the OP category, but I can't imagine that there's going to be many. Yeah. Where did I put the Stridzvon K? I probably put it in the strong. That would be my assumption. In my tier list, though, you have to remember, my tier list has an additional category. Let's see. I actually don't know where I put the strong. Oh, you know what? It's at the end, though, so I have to go, like, right to the end of the video to see where I put it. There you go. I put it in strong. Yep, that's where I thought I would have put it. It gets the good category, though. That's understandable. It's not the easiest tank to play, and it's a tricky vehicle. So I understand that one. That one's fair. All right, last tank. I'm already pretty sure where this one's going to go. We're just going to leave two categories up for this one, and we'll see. I'm going to put it where I think it's going to go. I could be wrong. I think it deserves to go in the OP category, though. Pretty sure I put it in the OP category in my video. Actually, yeah, I did. I put it in OP. The Minnow deserves to be OP. I'm going to be honest. Like, the level of damage output the thing has, the fact that it got a DPM buff, the fact that it has 490 damage per shot, it has a turret, it has 10 degrees of gun. It's just stupid. It is absolutely stupid. And it does seem like most of you agree, right? Even if you don't think it's OP, a lot of people still agree it is still super strong. Like, the Minnow is an incredibly dumb tank. The Minnow is so slow that when you reach the TD bush, the game is over. Well, first of all, why are you going to a tank destroyer bush in a heavy tank? Second of all, it's really not that slow. If you compare a Minnow to a E100, a Jagpanzer, or any other heavily armored vehicle, even a Type 71, it's really... The Type 71 goes 37, and the Minnow goes 35, and the power to weights are pretty similar. I don't see people complaining about the Type 71 being slow. I think that's a fallacy which doesn't actually hold up when you drive it. It's got a pretty good power to weight in a straight line as well. Yes, its traverse speed is poor, but I don't agree with that. So, it seems like most people agree. Minnow does finish off in the OP category. So, there you go, 62%. There you go. So there's our tier list, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. I honestly think you guys did a pretty decent job here. I think that this was a pretty decent job on the tier list. Let's see exactly what we're working with. So OP, Sheridan, M60, E6, E50M, Super Conk, 183, Hori, 113, 50B, Foch, Caro, Rhino, Kron, and Minnow. I agree with all of that, honestly. I don't agree with... I understand why the 183 is in the OP category. I think that if you were actually talking about its effective capabilities driving it, it's in, like, good. But I understand why it's there. In super strong, we have the M48 Patton. All right, I think that should be OP. 57 heavy, I think that should be OP. E5 strong concept, I can understand it being there. I think it's in between OP and super strong. E4 is fine there. XM is fine there. Leopard, Conf, Panzer E100, VK90, Grille. All these tanks so far are fine. T22 I could consider OP. Fine. Type 71 I would have put in OP. The rest of these tanks I think are honestly fine. The TVP and the VZ, and maybe the Balshation. Where did I put the Balshation in mine? I put the Balshation in OP. I thought so. Like, I think that the tank is still pretty nasty. Good. M60, all right. Understandable. Yep. I think the Rheinmetall Panzer Vogen should be in strong, but we don't have that category here, so that makes sense. The mouse, yep. This all makes sense. 4202 was actually a very close one, so I would have put 4202 in strong as well. I understand that. The 132 one I disagree with. This is one of the only tanks I disagree with. I think the 132 one should be here, but that's not my decision to make. 30B CS Stridsvon, I think this is all understandable. And then in workable, I fully agree. I mean, your guys' tier list isn't that far off from mine to be entirely real. I think most of the tanks you ranked were pretty similar, honestly. Most of the vehicles that I put in strong, M60, E3, Rheinmetall, Panzerwagen, like all these tanks that I ranked here, you guys put pretty similar. Honestly, not bad. Like, I'm going to give you guys a solid 9 out of 10 on this tier list. Unironically, I think this tier list is better than most of the tier lists that other content creators have put together. And it's because, as I always say, like, this is perfect proof. When I make a tier list, I try to make the tier list based off of what I think, right? It's always going to be opinion, okay? Right? The Balchation, you know, certain tanks that I've put in OP are going to be opinion based and more off of personal experience. But at the end of the day, I base a lot of my tier lists off of statistics, which is what I said in yesterday's video, right? I talked about how I always look at statistics. I always look at average win rate, relative win rate, and all that when I make a tier list. And I know where a tank is going to perform for the average player. So because of that, honestly, these tier lists are very surprisingly close. And I think that's a good example of at least me being in touch with the community and you guys being in touch with the game as well. So that's what I'll say. The final thing that I think we should do, because you keep asking for it, is a win rate poll. What is your win rate? 70%. I mean, I know people are going to lie, because of course they're going to. But try to be as honest as you can. Because it is an interesting poll to have. I think most people are going to be within the 50 to 60% range. If there's more than 10% of the people putting in 70%, I know it's bogus. That's what I'll say. A3 needs tungsten. And by the way, nobody can see what you're voting here. So it's not like it, you know, voting. By the way, let me clarify. This poll is for tier 10 win rate, okay? This is for tier 10 win rate. So we're not looking at your smasher stats. This is how you perform in tier 10. I would say that this is pretty realistic, though. I think that this is a pretty realistic representation here of win rate, right? Obviously, most people are going to be around the 50% mark, 55, 50%. And then 60% is understandable, right? I think that those two values make sense. Very small portion of the viewers are 40%. And then, you know, the same number of people that are 70 are the same number of 40. I would say probably, you know, it says there's 10% of the people are 70%. Do I believe that? No. I think it's probably closer to 5% of the people. I think that there are people that obviously lied and just put 70% even if they weren't that number. So I think subtract, you know, a little bit from the 70%, a little bit from the 60%, add it to the 50% to the 40%. So I think realistically, probably about 55% of the people here are 50% win rate. 40-ish% of the people are 60%. Maybe 10 to 15% are 40% players, and then like 5 to 3% are 70%. That's what I'll say. Either way, hopefully you enjoyed today's stream. If you'd like to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below. I'll probably turn this into a video at some point, and yeah, I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.